Good morning. It is Monday, the 5th of September. Welcome to TDA, the day after your favourite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And you are, of course, hosted by lovely people. I am one of your hosts who should have locks on her head or has a wig, to much of her annoyance. But I'm here. Martin Royalty.
It's your boy Use. It's the rotations. My iPad is not working for some reason. This is turned off.
It's chaotic morning, isn't it?
And they call me you, man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer, news analyst, melanin jam pack.
Yes, and your iPad is working and you have the hairstyle you desire.
The thing is, I don't use iPads, so I don't have that problem.
What's in your hand?
Samsung.
No way.
Yeah, 100%.
You are committed to... I did not know that.
Yeah.
No way.
Yep.
I am genuinely shocked.
Why?
I just thought you had an iPad.
No. Too basic for me.
So, okay, first of all, that's not true. You really are committed to your
Android life.
You really are.
It's better than Apple, isn't it?
Debatable. User's camera is giving
Much better.
Sims the first edition of Sims.
That's because you rigged the whole Instagram, Snapchat network.
To be fair, yeah, okay, do you know what? I will give you that. Because I am a woman of accountability. I'm growing every day.
Mm-hmm.
You are right. The actual camera is sick, but sometimes it's a bit too pixelated though.
When you put it on certain
settings.
As in when you put it on Instagram and stuff.
No, as in like the normal camera.
It's pixelated. More than Apple.
It's got like a weird thing. Oh, that one's the iPhone one. You need that one. Is it, no, like the actual camera. It's got this weird thing it looks like sometimes.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, it looks a bit too photo-y.
Okay.
But then on Snapchat and usually are the worst.
Yeah.
Even your emojis are just an offense. And I think Instagram as well shame you guys because when I think about it, they could really convert the emojis to what the rest of the people see it as.
But they don't. The same.
No, it's not.
Serious?
Yeah, it's not.
Oh, wow.
I can tell Android emoji.
Oh, wow.
It's like an emoticon.
Oh, serious?
No emoji.
That is terrible. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I've heard people talking about how we got CCTV.
Yeah, you do have CCTV footage for Snapchat and Instagram. It's just like, come on, man. And sometimes it's a bit delayed. So say you're doing a video. It's like that. I don't know if the sound is traveling ahead of the speed or what's going on. It's just...
I've experienced that, to be fair.
Yeah, man. Y'all need to level up.
I think it's because Apple have kind of infiltrated all the Instagram...
Have you ever had an iPhone?
People. No.
You really are down this hill, aren't you?
That's right.
Will you ever have an iPhone?
Maybe. If I get it for free. Apple.
Not for free. Yeah, I think when your content continues to content and I think that will be the next to upgrade. Right.
I just feel like it's too basic. Like you can't do a lot of customization.
A lot on iPhone.
You sure?
Brent?
Yeah, obviously Android because I think it's an open system. Like you could do a whole set of third-party stuff, but
yeah, Apple
decides that they're going to lock all that crap off. So you're just limited to what it is that they allow through.
Okay.
Exactly.
So I was going to tell guys a story because I did think I was going to have locks on my head today.
Yes, I want to hear this story, you know.
And you know, I don't like when people put me to shame. Because obviously the other day I was here and I was praising the aunties, right? Wasn't I?
Yes, she was.
And my locks was meant to be with my auntie who's a hairdresser, right?
Yeah.
She did my braids before and it looks absolutely beautiful. It looked really lovely, blah, blah. So I sent her a picture of the locks I wanted. I wanted short locks. I'm just done with long hair.
Okay.
She said, I can do this. So that's great. I said to her, what? She said, are you going to buy the locks hair? What does that tell you?
Are you going to buy the locks here or hair?
No, as in hair.
Okay.
So she said, are you going to buy the locks hair? That's what she said to me.
Okay. So she's asking, are you going to bring it?
Yeah. Or do I want her to kind of bring it, right?
Yeah.
So I said, I'll bring the hair. Also, I said, let me know what hair do I need and how much is it?
Okay.
She replies to me, £60 plus 2 packs of water wave hair.
Okay.
Yeah? Remember, this is very key.
Yes.
Information. Cool. All right. I stay here when we obviously had the beautiful 5 times more ladies after that interview. I'm sitting here. I didn't have time. Last week was so hectic. I didn't have time to wash my hair.
Mm.
She said she'll wash it for me. It's all great. Cool, whatever. So I'm sitting here and then me and Brent are talking. I said, you know what, Brent, 1 second. Let me call this lady. My appointment was at 4 p.m. Let me call her at 3 just to make sure. So Brent's like, why would you have to call her? I said, well, because sometimes, I said, so with the hairdressers, right, it's a gamble, it's a risk. There's pros and cons to the Insta girls.
Okay.
And then when you go to the aunties, there's also pros and cons to the aunties, right?
Yeah.
I think there's an odd wire behind the sweets, you know, that you're looking for. So there's pros and cons to each, right? So I'm trying to explain that to Brent. So I said, the problem with the aunties is that, yes, you come through, not many terms and conditions as the Instagram girls, but when I get there, there's a chance, a possibility, someone else may be sitting there just trying to squeeze in a quick buck.
Yep.
Cool. Called at 3 p.m. She's like to me, I said, are we still good for 4? She said, yes, we're still good for 4. She even had the cheek to say to me, can you come earlier? I said, no, I cannot. Let's not make a scene. Don't be silly now. I can't come early. It's working.
Just turn back on randomly by itself.
I said, yeah, that I can't come in earlier, right? 4 is still good. So I go for, I'm literally up the road at 4 p.m, but there's just traffic now. But I'm literally like 2 minutes away.
Yeah.
I text her and say, hi, auntie, I'm up the road. I'm just stuck in a bit of temporary lights situation. Cool. Tell me why I got there. Oh, someone said the sound is gone. Oh, Lord. You're killing me.
Right.
Sound is
So Brent said this conversation is classified. You're going to read my lips. He's back. You're going to read my lips. So anyways, what?
Didn't go.
It was like 10 of them that said the sound gone.
Serious.
Yeah. But anyways, I get there. After calling her at 3 p.m. to confirm that she can handle me at 4, I get there. Why is there someone in the seat? She's doing some other auntie's hair. So at this point, I'm irritated already because I'm just like, oh, are you kidding me? Cool, whatever. I'm like, what, 7 minutes late? And there's someone in the chair already. I said, cool, whatever. I sit down anyway, go and get some food, blah, 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 cool, whatever. So it's at 5 o'clock now. It's finally time to start my hair. She goes to me, oh, where's the hair? I bring out the hair that she asked me to bring, right? She goes, where's the locks hair?
Okay.
That was me.
Yeah.
I said, what do you mean, where's the locks hair? This is the hair you asked me to bring 2 packs of water wave hair. She goes, no, I told you, plus 2 packs of water wave hair. I had to bring I brought the WhatsApp. I said, auntie, no, you didn't. She goes, see, I said £60 plus 2 packs of hair. I said, oh my gosh. They pissed me off.
Insane.
Ma'am, this is why I tell people you need to know how to use your punctuations.
That's what I'm saying.
I asked her, what type of hair do I need and how much is my hair? She says to me, £60 plus 2 packs of water wave hair. And somehow I was meant to bring additional hair to the plus.
It's ridiculous.
So now I have to quickly go and buy hair. This is wasting more of my time. I finally get back at like 5:45 for 4 o'clock appointment. I sit down. She goes to me, I've got somebody else coming. But I'm very respectful of my elders, but the way I looked at her, she knew. She was like, no. She's like, oh, he's just a guy, but his hair won't take long. He just wants to do this, blah, blah. She's like, I'll start your hair, I'll wash your hair now, blah, blah, and I'll do as much as I can. And if he comes, I'll just do his hair quickly. And I was looking at her like, I said, all right. I said, okay. Anyway, we're doing my hair now. Thankfully, the guy came, he hadn't taken his hair out, so he was taking his hair out. So she washes it, cool, blow dries it, fine, whatever. We sit down to start my hair. She's parting it. I'm not really having the part, but I'm just like, just get me out of here. She does the first lock. I said, I know you're lying. It looked like spaghetti. I'm going to send Brent a picture of the one I wanted. And just imagine spaghetti.
Could it be that it starts off that way?
It couldn't be. Because I thought that too. I thought maybe this is not the finished product. So I didn't want to jump the gun. So I let her do a second one.
Okay.
She did a second one. I said, because usually sometimes with braids, you might start the braid and you finish at the end. But it's locked, so otherwise it's going to unravel, right? So, but when she started the third one, that's when I said, okay, this is what she's really doing on me. That's when I said, auntie, let's stop there. I literally, at this point, I was like, okay, I'm done. I said, is this the finished is this what it's gonna look like? This is the finished product. This is the lock completed.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yeah. I said, yeah, this isn't what I wanted. The ones I wanted were like thick. She gave me, no, I'm not even being dramatic. So imagine, right, you know pastas, different types of pastas, yeah? The one I wanted was the penne.
Yeah.
She gave me spaghetti.
Okay.
I said, ma'am. And it was so basically in Nigeria, I don't know if other African countries have it. You know, like, so you know the traditional hairstyles where they have like the thread.
Yes.
Do you get me? And you see sometimes in like old textbooks.
Yep.
That is what I would have looked like.
What?
A whole me. Fine babe like me trying to catch a man. That's what I would have looked like. And I knew that if she finished my hair, I would have gone in my car and taken it out straight away. I just knew it.
Yeah.
But my thing was I would have paid her.
There
And
you
I'm
go.
not happy with that.
There you go.
So I have this thing where literally I have to talk to my therapist about it, where I can't, when people are doing a service for me and I'm not happy with it, I can't stand up for myself and be like, I don't like it.
Yeah.
But this time I said, I've actually been through too much today. And my week was just beating my ass. Like, life is life for me. And this is not about to add to my problems. I said, Auntie, forget it. It's like, I said, forget it. Forget it. Like, forget it. I said, this is not going to look nice for me. It's not going to suit me. I said, furthermore, I just think this appointment has been very chaotic. It just hasn't been it. And then she opened a new pack of hair that they sell to try and help it. It wasn't doing anything. I said, just forget it. And I knew I was going to get charged for that hair as well, which is pissing me off anyway. I said, yeah, forget it. So she goes, okay. So then what I then ended up leaving the salon with was Bow Wow braids.
What's that?
Just them.
Oh, as in the rapper Bow Wow.
I've really been through a lot the past few days. September has not been kind to me so far. I can't even lie to you. I left with Bow Wow braids, and then I was like, I'll just pack it up. Like, I just want to get off here. But the thing is, and then I said, how much I owe you? So in my mind, this would be like £20 because all you've done basically is wash my hair, blow dry it. These braids, I don't think I should be charged for it. She charged me £30.
See, I wouldn't have asked the question. I'd have packed myself and left.
I just left.
That's it.
Because the £30 is half of the price for my locks. So that makes no sense to me. But I just wanted to be, I just gave it to her anyway. But then when I tell you, it was eating my spirit all weekend because I really felt like I was violated. Because basically, people tend to, when it comes to like aunties and stuff, people kind of take the piss.
Yeah.
So they say to you like, this is the price. People haggle.
Yeah.
But I don't do that. I even tip. So I feel like the reason why she charged me £30 is because she knows that I don't argue about like money. And I feel like in her mind, she's like, oh, she probably has money anyway. Ma'am.
Yeah.
So I messaged her. On Sunday morning, she woke up to my text before she went to church. I said, I'm going to be heavy on your heart today because I was taking out the braids as well. That's when I launched my TikTok career. When I did a rant on TikTok, I said, I'm sick of people taking advantage of me every time in life. I'm sick of it. So I messaged her and I said, Auntie, I'm very honest with you. I really don't like the way the appointment went. I said, I'm very disappointed in what happened. I said, I need a breakdown of the cost of why you charged me £30. I said, furthermore, I sent you a picture of what I wanted. What you were doing, you should have known that was not going to be that. She did apologize. I haven't opened the message just because one thing at a time. I will reply to her at some point this week. But I did see when she said, I'm sorry that, you weren't happy and blah, blah, but. So I'm back to wigs. Huh?
Sounds like an ordeal.
It really was. Because I kind of swore off wigs until like winter. Just because I like to wake up and just be in my state and just go. But obviously I had the Lovely Black Girls Living live show yesterday. And I can't go there coming last. Like, stupid.
How was the show?
It was amazing. It was really good. It was a second live show. They did really well.
Okay.
I met some really, really cool people there as well. I met No Shit listeners and I also met TDA listeners.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I met quite a few TDA listeners and they sent their love to everyone. Said we do, they love the show. They tune in all the time. I don't remember everyone's names, but I do remember one lady just because we had more of a conversation. And her name's Jade. And she was saying, she was watching from day one and like how she was saying to me how I've grown even in like how I deliver the news and all that kind of stuff. So it was really, really cool. Really, really lovely event. It was nice to watch them in action.
Dope.
Shout out to the two queens in the pod ladies as well. Leah and Iman. I saw them there as well. I saw Falls from Off the Cuff. I saw Hannah OJ as well. It was really cool. And then Monique and Lee, hosted it. and McThickham, who also listens to TDA,
Mhm.
she DJ'd as
DJ'd.
well. It was really, really cool. The girls looked amazing. And happy birthday, Jasmine. It's Jasmine's birthday today. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Jasmine.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday, Jazz. So yeah, it was really, really good.
Dope.
But that was my weekend. How was your weekend, guys?
Where? Yeah, no. It wasn't eventful like that, man.
It wasn't?
It wasn't eventful. Nah, not at all.
Get up to anything?
Just trying to do a few things. Like stuff that should have taken me an hour ended up taking 3-4 hours.
Like
You know,
DIY stuff?
No, like just stuff going around doing certain things here and there.
Yeah.
Just, the usual waste of time. Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah, I was trying to help my mum with something as well on the Sunday as well. I had to go meet her at church. I don't even want to talk about it. I was just getting annoyed, so...
That's the thing.
Yeah.
When I talk about my hair thing, I can't, my heart rate is faster.
This is what they do, man. But
Okay. Right, Yusuf?
Nothing, just chilling.
Nothing?
Just chilling. It's at home the whole weekend, just TV, couch, sofa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone said, ask me about Arsenal. Yeah, we'll talk about Arsenal later.
that was what added to my... I didn't even get to watch. I was trying to watch it driving. Can you imagine?
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Brent, you got to give us a part 2 because you finally went to the wedding of the Bachelor event you went to.
Yeah, I ain't definitely ain't saying much.
Oh, you went to the wedding of what's his name? What's his name again?
Kahil.
Kavid,
sorry.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah?
Kavid had a fantastic speech. They looked beautiful, the bride and the groom, and that is it.
How was the food?
I don't know why you've asked that question.
It's important, man.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Listen, you started with kicking off the week in an interesting manner. I told you guys September has not been nice to me. I really pray this week is different because, boy, I think when Brent said earlier, it's the 5th of September, I said, damn, yeah, it's been 5 days of misery. Oh, Jesus Lord. But you know what, guys? Like this video. You guys know the drill. Subscribe to the channel and join the TNB network. So join our community, and you do that by searching or typing into your browser community.thenewblack.com. And when you do that, you might as well, since you're already on the roll, join the TDA Backstage Access for all amazing stuff, all amazing content. So the kids are back to school today. My sister actually went back to school on Friday, which I thought was so annoying.
Yep.
Friday.
Ridiculous.
I feel like because schools have inset days during the term. I feel like that stupid little day should have been an inset day. Do you know what I mean? Make that the inset day. But anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, do you guys remember what your first day of secondary school was? Oh, also shout out to Quinton Hall.
Yes.
One of our community... I don't know where I'm going with this one. One of the people in our community, senior listener, his son saw his son's first day at secondary school today, so...
Okay.
It was a great experience for him.
Yeah, big up Quinton's son.
You guys remember your first day of secondary school?
The very first day.
But I remember though being excited. Like when you start in a new school, you have your uniform all ready.
Yeah. I remember my dad dropping me to school for my first day.
Yeah.
But that's the only memory I have of the first
really?
day. Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't have the first day. No, but obviously I remember secondary school, but not the first day.
I actually don't remember my first day, but I do remember the feeling of because I changed schools. I changed primary school, I changed secondary school in sixth form. I'd change, but I think I do always remember when I'm going to a new school, just having your uniform laid down. Obviously, you have new shoes, you have new uniform, new bag. My most exciting thing was getting to to use my pencil case. I loved a pencil case. I was a pencil. I can't lie to you. I think people were looking forward to what my pencil case was say for the year. Every year, and my new pencil case, and it tends to be purple because purple is my favorite color. I just love the pencil case because I love pens. I've got really nice handwriting, so I love a good pen as well.
Okay.
So that was really the highlight of my school years. Just a nerd. But I loved it.
Secondary school.
Yeah.
My first day was me waking up in boarding school.
Oof.
Yeah.
It's tough.
So it was a very different experience.
Was that in Ghana?
Yeah, in Ghana. So I woke up. Obviously.
I woke up.
Obviously, I wasn't drugged or nothing like that. Innit? But yeah, my first day was basically. You know, in boarding school, you got to, like, there's a bunch of chores that you need to do, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So the first week I was there, it was my dorm that had to wash the whole bathroom. And
Yeah, I knew you'd be on bathroom.
this is what I'm saying.
That's that was me too when I was
Exactly.
in
My first week.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of remember you telling me about this lizard that used to live under your school kitchen.
A lizard? Oh, you know, is it the wall geckos?
Yeah.
You have a hell of them
That's
in
what you're
Africa.
talking
It's
about,
ridiculous.
No, it was. I swear you told me that people were saying that it was one child that got killed, and it was some nonsense story that you were telling me.
No, this can't.
Like, it was weird.
Wrong friend.
No, when did you stay by us before you went to boarding school? Or after you came back from boarding
after.
school? All right. So you used to tell us a lot of stories about what you went through during boarding school, and there was some that were mystical.
Yes.
Can you remember?
Yeah.
Can you remember one of the ones that were mystical that had to do with some sort of alligator or some lizard
No.
that lived under the school kitchen?
It sounds like,
Nah, not at all.
he knew you lot wouldn't know any better, so he was making shit up. That's what it sounds like.
All right. What was one of the mystical things that you told us about one
mystical,
of the schools? Because he told us a few.
No, I will say there are a lot of myths in boarding school. I've got a story as well. Like, they make up stuff, man.
A lot of things was happening back then. I think my first or my second year. I don't even know why I'm even mentioning this story. But
Whenever you start a story like that, I know it's a good one. Go on.
oh man, basically, oh man. So, okay. I'll give you this one. So basically, there was a time where there was a lot of things going around, right?
Mhm.
Where, and this is the story that we were told. Apparently, it was in the news and this, that, and the third, right?
Mhm.
Where there were people coming from, maybe it was a Ghanaian thing, right? But they said these people originated in Nigeria. Yeah, so they were coming across,
I heard the camera caught my eye roll.
and they were doing a lot of juju, right?
Okay.
And what it was is, obviously, back home or whatever, the idea is a man is a man because of his
Penis.
stuff. Yeah, his manhood.
Potency.
His manhood.
Manhood.
yeah.
Oh, they love a manhood. Bloody hell, bro.
And so what they were doing is, in order for these guys to get like this power,
Yeah.
to obviously, I don't know, to use it for whatever they want to use it in life, right?
See where the story's
The
going.
assignment is if they touch somebody,
Yeah.
it disappears.
It's such a penis.
No, just touch you, like whatever.
Penis
Yes.
is a bit. That's
will be gone.
Damn.
Right? And basically, apparently, it was on the news. So obviously, they had come through from Nigeria and they were in Ghana and all this type of stuff. And there was a story about how they touched one boy. But it didn't go, innit? Like, it fell on the floor.
Even what for his penis? So I thought it was like I don't know what a penis is compromised of.
Yeah.
But I thought it would be the inner things that go. The actual penis is meant to go.
Gone. So, like, if...
And his penis fell on the floor.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, and then you said the way to basically get it
Yes,
back is
is
to
to-
catch the guy
and beat
then
the hell out
the
of
guy.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, apparently, again, this is
It's
another
to
part.
beat up the guy.
Yeah, so in
Or
order
catch
to...
the guy that touched
Yeah, exactly. So if you clock that, wait a minute.
My penis is gone.
Yeah, and you notice that he's the only one in the vicinity.
This
He's
is
touched you.
seriousness. I need Marks to be here for the story.
I'm telling you, this is what I was told.
Yeah, but I remember this story. And that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I remember you also talking about this particular noise that you kept on hearing at night. And you all went to investigate one day.
Mm. I've heard that kind of
I
story.
don't remember that.
I've heard that story where I think was it. So I think something about like if you hear stuff at night time, don't go investigate because it's a witch or something that's trying to take people away. So apparently there's like a ghost that roams boarding schools, but apparently she must have had a busy night because she used to roam in other boarding schools that I knew of as well in Nigeria. But yeah, they used to have like such weird
Yeah, there's bare different
myths
things, man.
and
Yeah.
wait. So you lived here, right? And then you
Yeah.
went to Ghana.
Yeah, born and
shipped.
raised here.
You were, weren't you? You look like a naughty kid.
Me? I don't think I
Yes.
look like a no kid.
You do.
I don't think so. My pictures are very nice and yeah.
Okay.
But anyway,
Well, you
I was
shipped.
transported.
First class.
Yeah, man. And yeah.
What did you do? Do you remember? Do you remember the last straw of what got you shipped back?
Not really, you know. I don't feel like I think it was a combination of different things over a certain amount of time, innit?
What is that?
Sorry, hold on.
Yeah,
But do you remember the last straw Okay, what was it like? School stuff? What was it? What were you doing?
I think it was a lot of hanging outside, doing certain things. Because my estate was very, you know what I mean?
Notorious.
Yeah, exuberant.
Okay.
So yeah, and I think my mum just kind of saw where this could
What if you
potentially
go,
go.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
And then did you come back? Is that when you came back pro-black?
No, funny enough, I was pro-black before.
Actually, you told us the story of your auntie, isn't it?
Yeah, so, but I guess me going just gave me more of a connection to back home. You know what I'm saying? And knowing this is home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yes, Gin and Gist, I was getting there. Why Ghana and not Nigeria?
All right.
Because you got extra ship then. That's something I would do to my kids. You're going to Tanzania, bruv. I don't know nobody there. I'm going to get family to host you.
All right, so basically, right, I'm Yoruba, right?
Yes.
But I'm not necessarily Nigerian.
Mm.
That's the way to put it.
The truth is coming out now. What does that mean?
It means, remember, before white people came to,
Oh, here we go. It's about a piece of bullshit.
No, but it's true.
What do you mean white people?
Before was it the Berlin Conference, 1885, right?
Okay.
There was like these countries that we see today wasn't what they were. It was just tribes and stuff, right? So cool. This is why I identify as Yoruba and not Nigeria, right? But obviously we know what happened.
Sorry.
But we know obviously Yoruba land is in Nigeria. But part of Yoruba land also extends into Benin, by the way. But anyway, that's another story. So my ancestry, we're all from Yoruba land, Nigeria, yeah? But my grandparents, why are you looking at
Because
me
you're
like that?
phony. Like,
How?
Talk to him.
I'm looking at you
Talk
like...
to him, please.
Maybe the context is not adding up.
No.
It makes
going.
perfect sense, trust me. So all it is that my parents were born in Ghana. Just like me, Yusuf.
But where are your parents from? No,
From Nigeria.
You're not like me and Yusuf. You're
From Nigeria.
Nigerian.
No, it's the same thing. Would you say you're not Nigerian?
Yeah, but he's been never been to
That's what I'm
Ghana.
saying. No, but that's what I'm saying. It's like you being born here and then, for example, your kids are born here.
Yeah.
So it's just like my parents were born in Ghana, just like we're born in England.
But what's the heritage? Where's their parents from?
From Nigeria, from Yoruba land.
Both parents.
Both,
Both
100%. Pure blood, pure, 100% Yoruba land.
But they were just born in Ghana.
Exactly. So they were brought up in Ghana, just like we're brought up in Britain. That's it.
Oh, so you're like Mr. Easy.
That's what you said last time.
Did I do this?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I forget things. My
Exactly.
memory's not serving me right these days.
So what it is from Ghana, obviously, they'll go back to Nigeria, just like we go back to Nigeria and stuff like that. So they speak Tree and
So
all
then
that
why
stuff,
don't
but they
you-
also speak Yoruba. It's the same.
So you
right?
speak both languages.
Yeah, at home, yeah.
So why don't you claim Nigeria then? Because Nigeria's in your blood.
Why don't I?
Yeah.
I do.
You say you associate more with being Yoruba.
Only because
Identify as being Yoruba
that's because Nigeria is a useless country right now. They're misbehaving.
Okay.
But typically, if someone asks me, I'm Nigerian, yeah, 100%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's all it is. So basically, I've got loads of family in Ghana. I got loads of family in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So obviously, when it came to you're going back home.
Yeah.
Basically, a year before that, I had gone back for the first time. When I went back for the first time, just on holiday,
Yeah.
I visited both my family in Nigeria and in Ghana. That's why whenever I go back home, even to this day,
Yeah.
I go both countries, right?
Okay.
So my mum basically said to me, listen, you're going back home, but choose which one you want to go to.
Yeah.
So as a 10-year-old, or whatever, I'm looking and thinking, Nigeria's cool, but
You know,
Ghana,
you know Nigeria's hard, bro.
you know what I'm saying? Ghana just seems so much more calm
Yeah.
than Nigeria. So I said, all right, I'm going Ghana, man.
Yeah.
So that's what happened.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah. So I'm 100%, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yoruba, innit?
Debatable, but yeah.
It's not debatable.
Were you ever on the verge of being shipped?
No, not at all. I was a very well-behaved child.
That's good. I actually
Yeah.
believe that. You man, I don't believe that. Brent?
Have I been shipped to Trinidad? I
No,
came
were
from
you-
Trinidad.
Were you shipped there?
What?
So being shipped is that you have to go to school there. Now
I-
that is now your new
I
place.
left Trinidad when I was 6. I haven't been back since to have any education now. I got
Oh, okay.
shipped to England.
You know, fair enough. Fair enough. All right.
And,
Okay,
and
fair
his,
enough.
his accent still remains to this day.
Yeah, but not as strong though.
It's not as strong.
It's not as strong as the if I came back or if I came here yesterday.
Really?
Like, yeah, people in Trinidad are like they sing. So
What does sing? What do you mean?
like, they sing like da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na, like really, really strong.
Wasn't that's how they speak?
Yes,
They sing their speak.
you
they
would
sing the talk.
think they're singing based on how strong the accent
Oh,
is.
really?
Yeah.
I don't know, to me, your accent's strong.
I think you think it is strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I
you
think that
haven't
maybe
heard
that's what we
the
don't.
original. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe because we don't.
Yeah.
When we meet other people, we'll be like, oh, Brent's flipping
You watered down,
Caucasian.
diluted. Yeah,
Crazy.
terrible stuff.
Okay, all right. We're ready to get into our next headline.
Yep,
Our first headline, more like. Brendan, people are saying you're lying, bro. Brendan's still trying to lie that he came at 6.
Oh, man.
He came last month.
All right. So our first headline is to do with the fact that today we're going to find out who our next Prime Minister is.
Okay.
Yes, so today's the day we expected to hear who our next PM will be between the candidates Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss. It may have felt longer, but after 5 weeks, the Tory leadership race was officially concluded at 5 p.m. on Friday evening. Postal ballots were sent out between the 1st of August and the 5th of August, and ballots received after 5 p.m. on the 2nd of September on Friday were not counted. Also, you could have voted online, not you, because you're not Tory. But you know
I
what I'm
was
trying
going
to
to
say.
say, I missed that.
Only party members are allowed to choose a leader and by default, the country's next Prime Minister. So this is the thing. About 150,000 were registered and eligible to vote in the last leadership election, which took place in 2019. However, estimates are now suggesting that there are between 180,000 and 200,000 Conservative Party members. What's interesting is that the research from Mylan Institute at Queen Mary University of London suggests 44% of the Tory of the Tory membership is over 65. 44%. 97% of the Tories are white. And 54% live in the capital in the south of England. The formal handover will take place on Tuesday, which is the same day Boris Johnson is expected to make a farewell address outside 10 Downing Street at around 9 a.m.
Okay, so the person's basically moving in tomorrow.
Yes.
Based on stats, I think. Oh, actually, who do you think is going to win? I think Liz Truss is going to win.
I think we know. 97% are white?
Yeah, but
That's
you know what it is? You have
crazy.
to think though, with like, how many of them are men? Do you get what I mean? Because I feel like there's different levels to certain things, right? So
That's true.
white people will support white people, but they'd rather support a white man than a white woman.
Mm-hmm.
But then they will also rather support like a white woman than a gay white man.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? There's kind of hierarchies
that's
within
true.
these things.
Yeah.
But
But
actually,
where-
either way, then Rishi
Yeah.
Sunak is still out.
Exactly.
Never
Because
mind,
where
yeah.
does an Asian man rank
Yeah,
with
any of that.
a white woman?
Yeah, man, you don't.
Yeah. So he's been losing from the beginning, really.
Yeah, it was a lost case. I mean, it's cute that he tried.
He's
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, well done, Mr. Sunak.
Then again, you never know.
No, we know. This one we know. 97%.
I'm so done.
Yeah. But yeah,
Right,
I guess we'll find out later today. Also, this next headline, trigger warning. This is about Gareth Thomas. So it's emerged, according to High Court legal papers, that former Wales rugby star Gareth Thomas has admitted he did not tell his ex-partner he had HIV.
Wow.
But he said he was never asked.
Can you
Stop
imagine?
Yeah,
Bloody mongoloid.
we're going to get into this. So the ex-British
That's
and
insane.
Irish...
It's giving Tyler Perry a movie.
Where the ex-British and Irish Lions captain's being sued by his ex-partner Ian Baum for £150,000 in damages. Mr. Baum claims Mr. Thomas hid his HIV status and failed to take reasonable care to ensure he did not pass it on. One example is that he claims Mr. Thomas removed the labels from his HIV medication so his partner would not know what they were. He's also been accused of using controlling and coercive behaviour to stop his HIV status becoming known. Mr. Thomas denies all of Mr. Baum's allegations. His legal team has submitted a 15-page document to the High Court responding to the allegations. The document confirmed Mr. Thomas and Mr. Baum started a relationship at the end of 2013, and Mr. Thomas said the couple did not have penetrative sex for the first 4 months because he had an injury. He also says the issue of HIV was never discussed. Mr. Thomas, also known as Alfie, said while he knew he had the virus, he did not think he was able to pass it on. Mr. Thomas said Mr. Baum was promiscuous and accused him of being blasé about catching HIV when he eventually revealed his own status. His attitude being that he was bound to get HIV sooner or later. However, in his submission to the court, Mr. Baum said he was monogamous and faithful to Mr. Thomas and did not have sexual intercourse with another person. Mr. Thomas also admitted he did remove labels from his HIV medication, but that was only to stop family members knowing what they were. So
I can't believe she's only saying for £150,000
You say she or is it he?
He's gay.
No. She said
I
she.
said she.
Oh, sorry.
My bad. I can't believe he's only suing for £150,000. That's absolutely disgusting. I hate when people don't tell you something and they say, "Oh, it's because you never asked," or you go out of your way to make sure I don't find out.
Yeah, but this is a complete different case.
That's why this is it though.
This is
That's what I'm saying. So he's like he's saying you never asked, yeah. Like how was that? Why do you think that was stand up? But then you went out of your way to make sure he never found out.
You can't use you never asked for HIV.
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying? This it's too severe.
But he's saying
Russian, bruv.
that he never, what do you call it, did those things to hide it from him necessarily, but to hide it from his family members.
Did he live with his family members?
I guess maybe someone goes to his bathroom, maybe, you know what I'm saying, visitors.
Well, your partner that's not going to your bathroom and seeing that every day. And that means as well, because you have checkups and stuff like that. So, what, you just say you're going to the cafe, a solo breakfast? What is your... Anyway, let's get to our next part because...
Very good. He said they didn't do sexy time because he was injured. Like, what type of injury?
That's the only
HIV was the injury. Should have been the injury.
No, but he's a rugby player, isn't it? So I think he was...
His groin.
Yeah, something was gone.
It was sore, innit?
Excuses.
Yeah. But that was only for the first 4 months. And also, remember, he did eventually tell him. So it's not like he never told him ever. You know what I'm
You
saying?
should have told me
Yeah,
before
but
you were
that's
dating.
information you have to disclose at the start
Early.
of a relationship.
See, it's good you say that because that leads into...
Wow, what you say now? Topic of the day.
Sorry.
That's a good segue.
Forgive my ignorance. Forgive my ignorance. But does the... A bit, TMI, but does the bum hole get...
I knew you were going to mention something like that.
I just wanted to know.
Does it what?
Does it get sore? Like...
Yeah.
So maybe he was rested from that?
No.
Because rugby players
That's not
may have
injury,
aggressive
Brent.
sex.
That's not injury.
No, but he mentioned it was a sports-related injury, not a sexual-related injury.
Well...
I think you should have just let us segue when we did the segue. You could have asked this annoying question in the next segment too.
Okay, so as we mentioned, as used to pretty much put it, topic of the day is, what do you consider private information, right? But also information that needs to be or should be always disclosed if you're in a relationship.
Your health.
Yeah.
So if you're like, for example, your what's it, blood type?
Ah, okay.
No, not blood. I said blood type is your O plus and all that. What's the
I know what
AS
you mean.
genotype?
Isn't that your blood type?
Blood type, still blood type.
Let's go blood type, yeah.
Yeah. You're talking about like if you're sickle cell,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you're a carrier.
Yeah.
things of
I think you need
nature.
to let people know that from the jump.
Jump as in first date?
I'll be honest with you, yeah. I've had conversations because sometimes when you say on the first date, it sounds very intimidating.
Okay.
But sometimes you have really good conversations with somebody, like hours of conversation where you guys talk about so much stuff. I think it can come up on our first conversation, even before the first date. You know, when we're doing the cold cute phone thing. You can let me know then.
You think so?
Yeah, I've had some very deep conversations on like our first kind of conversations.
I think, yeah, I get you. If it just comes out naturally, but would you go in with intent to tell the person on the first conversation? Or
No,
if it just came up, you just mention it?
Yeah, I think if it comes up, because you know sometimes, I don't know if you say, you know sometimes you have a conversation with someone where like say someone that you're getting to know, right?
Yeah.
And it's one of the ones where you guys are on the phone for hours and you guys talk about different things. You talk about from gossip to life to deep stuff that happened in the child. Like, you know when the conversation just goes any and everywhere?
It flows, yeah.
I think if it flows and it comes out that way, then yes. But I think if you're going on a date, I think maybe if the date is not that kind of flow conversation, I can get why you wouldn't tell me. I think let me know. If I'm someone you want to be with, then I think at that point you have to let me know.
I think it depends on the severity of the condition in terms of like when you should disclose it. If it's HIV, I believe that's something you told the person
First date?
First date, yeah. To be fair, maybe not even first date, maybe before you even go on a date.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so, you know. I think again, if it's that flowy, yeah, if it's like a flowy conversation, I can see it coming up. I think first date.
No, before the first date.
Because you know what I'm thinking, yeah? I always think that I don't like to, so sometimes I don't like to tell people stuff about me.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't work out.
Then that person knows that information.
Yes, it makes me sick that you're walking this earth.
I hear that.
Knowing stuff about me you actually don't need for your life.
Then I guess you got, it's hard because you're going to have to gauge who this person is to you, and obviously you might have certain intention with this person, but it might not work out in your favor, or might not go the way you want it to go. So it is techie, but I think, for example, with sickle cell, I don't feel like it's a first date conversation, but it's definitely a conversation to have. And I remember not really realizing that having that conversation was even important until I had a friend who told me that he had a situation with a girl that didn't work out because of their blood types.
Yeah.
So I made it an intentional decision to have that conversation with people, not initially, but within the first couple of weeks or months.
Yeah.
Just to establish it, because I do know it can be quite techie.
What's actually crazy, now you're saying that, have I had that conversation? No. I've had it with someone who does have it.
Yeah.
And I got to know pretty early on.
Yeah.
And even though I was getting to know them, I just knew that, okay, kind of thing. But in terms of people I've dated after that, I don't know, I hope this doesn't sound weird, but I guess they haven't showed signs of it, so I know they don't have it. Because there are kind of tell signs of sickle cell.
Are you worried just about sickle cell, like, I don't know the term, for like full blown, or the trait?
That's what I was going to ask.
Because basically, I think I can handle the trait because I'm an AA.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I'm with an AS, maths wise, we're only gonna produce an AS.
Yeah. Because I've got sickle cell trait.
Yeah.
And that's why I ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, because you're AS, if you meet another AS,
Exactly.
there's a chance you're gonna have a sickle cell SS.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I'm an AA, I guess maybe that's why I have that kind of lax thing. But I guess the only way it will be very big for me is if I married someone who was an SS. And it's difficult because I always feel like, should you not marry someone because of that? They don't have control over it.
I know, but it's more so about kids.
Yeah, it's kids. Yeah.
It's more so about kids.
But also your quality of life as well.
Yeah.
You're going to be
You gotta take care of
treating
them.
Yeah.
Because when they have that crisis, it's mad.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
very mad.
Yeah, man.
So I can't. Well, it's funny because I had my friend, because he's got it, and he was on my pod actually. I can't remember what he said when I asked him that question. So that's not helpful, is it?
When's sickle cell Awareness Week again?
I think it's a month. This month.
This
September.
month. I guess
Yeah.
we'll obviously delve into that deeper
Yeah.
when we have experts on the show, innit?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Because I wonder how they feel. Because they must have relationships end because of that.
it. Yeah.
That's very hurtful. But it's. I think it's something important. HIV.
Yeah,
Let me know.
Yeah, you have to let them know.
Okay,
HIV, AIDS, you have to let them know straight away.
Yeah, I can't. I think that is a straight away conversation actually. When I think about it,
And
because not to be ignorant. Actually, no,
And I get the person's fear, because obviously they're going to be worried that no one's going to want to date them now because of what they have. And if they, you know how people say, you know what, if a person gets to know me more and they begin to have feelings for me or like me, then maybe they'll be less inclined to leave me when I tell them that I have it. And if you tell them initially,
but that is a lie.
that stops any chance of them even developing any feelings for you. And I
Yeah.
think that's their fear, that if I keep telling people straight away, no one's ever going to even try to develop feelings for me, and nothing's ever going to go
That's
anywhere.
sad.
So I get why some people wouldn't say it initially,
But
but
tell me.
from the recipient, I want to know
I want to have the
from
option.
the jump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think that's what makes it difficult. Like, don't take away that option from that person. You never know. Jamie, you just
Yeah,
never know.
that's true.
But I do know that sometimes with people who have HIV, they tend to link with people who do have it as well.
Yeah.
So one of my uncles, he's married to someone who also has it.
And it's the thing though, especially with HIV, if I'm not mistaken, like they can live long, healthy lives
Yeah.
now, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? It's not like
Yeah, 'cause you-
before.
Yeah, you take your medication. If you take your medication regularly and stuff like that, you're actually good. I think, if I'm not wrong, I think the medication you take as well can prevent it from being spread to someone else, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically, yeah.
And they can only be passed on through blood contact, right?
Yeah.
So if I had an open wound and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I came into contact with the blood, and obviously those things don't really happen.
And this is what this guy was basically saying. So he was basically saying that he genuinely and reasonably believed that he couldn't transmit the condition because of his CD4 count, which is the measure of the immune function, right?
Yeah.
Saying that it's not at a dangerous level where he even required medication. That's basically what he's saying. And so that's why he didn't feel the need to.
So on your
to
form, does it say
disclose
HIV or not?
Nah, it's wild.
I feel like he knew what he was doing. 'Cause I think something like that, yeah, if it wasn't the way he's saying it's not a big deal because I'm not dangerous, that's the more reason why you should have told him.
Yeah.
Like, oh, by the way, I'm diagnosed as this, but actually, it's not that because I'm moving on medication for it. It's not that serious. But I don't like when people try and, sometimes when people hold something back from you, information back from you, yeah.
Mm.
And then when you ask them why they didn't tell you, they'll be like, oh, it's not that important. But if it's not that important, that's the more reason why you should have told me.
Said, innit?
I think that is definitely something. What else is there actually? That's private information, but you should disclose in a relationship.
Private information that you should disclose. Kids. If someone has a child, how soon do they tell a person that they're getting to know they have a kid?
I think it's weird if you don't tell me from the jump you have kids. Because when you have a conversation, you have the whole, how many siblings do you have and blah, blah. I'm counting your siblings, your pets, and you're not going to mention your child.
Yeah, I think kids is something. Is kids a first date
Yes.
conversation, or is it a prior date conversation?
A what?
Prior date.
Prior.
Date. I think it's prior.
It's a prior.
Probably. I
It's
feel like
not-
it will come up.
It has to.
Yeah.
If your child doesn't come up here, that tells me why you need to tell me.
Mm.
And that means I'm not trying to talk to you. Can't lie to you. I don't see you being an active parent and
if you don't.
you're not telling me. And even if you're not active, say that the child lives with a mum or something,
Yeah.
your child should still be, what are you doing this weekend? I'm seeing my son, I'm seeing my daughter. If you're not saying any of that, when you know you're seeing them, you're not saying any of that, like, oh, I'm just going to have a chilled weekend.
Yeah.
This time you're running around soft play.
Yeah. I think kids is a prior, but I wouldn't be mad at a first date.
If you
As
don't
in-
say it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like if you don't tell me until the first day, I wouldn't be mad.
But then my first day has to be within a week of us talking.
But do you feel it's different for us though? Because if a woman doesn't tell you she hasn't got
Ooh,
kids,
that's interesting.
you know what I'm saying? It's different, I feel like. Because like you said, you're at home with the kid.
Because
Yeah.
the kid's normally in her care.
Yeah. Or
Oh
with the
my God.
man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. No, I understand. Yeah, I think either or, the man or the woman has to tell, because
Yeah.
even if the kid's not in your care, you're still the father of the child. innit?
Mhm.
But I do get your notion that it's a bit more peculiar if a woman doesn't tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when she's on the phone to you, the kid's in the house.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Oh my gosh, you watched Love and Hip Hop like back in the day, right?
Yeah.
There was some, I think it was in New York, one Peter Guns was on, and I think it was Siska, and he was dating some girl. Yeah, she wanted to be an artist or whatever. I used to mock and call her Strawberry Shortcake, but her name was Strawberry something.
Mm.
And she had a kid, yeah. So, but she should tell him it was her dog.
What?
You know, I think I remember that season. I can't remember who the person was though.
Some black girl, she never came back.
Yeah.
But like, she used to tell him, so he would hear something, he'd be like, oh, like, what's that? And he'd be like, oh, it's just my dog.
Yeah,
basically.
I remember that, but I don't remember who it was.
And there was time she had a kid. And he was like, how could you lie
Yeah.
about your child? And she was like, oh, it's just because I knew that, he might stop talking to me, blah, blah.
Do that.
And I always think stuff like that is weird to me because there are women who hide their children
Mm.
and there are men also who hide their children. And their thing's always, well, I feel like if I told you, you wouldn't want to be with me. But why do you think I want to be with someone who has their child? If we have kids together, what are you going to do? Hide the kids as well?
Yeah.
It's wild to me.
I think obviously people hide things out of fear of rejection.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then...
I mean, and I get it. I do get it, because if I put myself in their shoes, yeah, you're
Yeah.
probably feeling like, no one wants me if they know X, Y, Z. But at the same time, you just have to suck it up and do it, innit? Because it's the right thing to do.
It's the right thing to do. And I think also as well, to be fair, I think you never really know who it is that you're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember one time I had this guy, I was talking to some guy and he was acting me one day. He messaged me. He was like, okay, I need to talk to you about something. Something I should have told you a while ago, but when you get a minute, call me. I said, oh, two options here. This nigga's either married or he's got a child or something. Because why haven't you told me? And when we got on the phone, he was like, oh, basically, I'm out of work at the moment. I said, oh, is that it?
Actually, you know what? That's a good one.
It's a
So
good one.
a man who's struggling financially,
Yeah.
unemployed, do you feel like if he discloses that to a girl, when he meets her, not when he meets her, but when he gets her number and the first conversation, is that a turn off?
Absolutely, it will be. Not for me, for the girl, yeah.
But when should he, tell her?
I think it should just come up because when I'm like, what are you up to today?
Yeah, exactly. So it'll come up in the first conversation.
Yeah, just like, I'm out of work at the moment, I'm looking for jobs.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? But some
I
people...
think for girls looking for jobs is a turn off too.
It's an ick. But the thing
girls
is
are harsh, you know.
So girls are hard, and that's the thing. Well, I think because when he told me,
Yeah,
obviously, like, he's had experiences or whatever.
yeah.
So when he told me, he did not think we were going to keep talking. But I was like, that's fine. Like, that could be me. That could happen to me. So I think you need to know who it is that you're dealing with. Do you get what I
Yeah.
mean? But I also know that some of my friends would have been like, okay, thank you for letting me know
Yeah.
that.
I had a friend who told me, and I was surprised this was her kind of mindset, that a guy told her that she was kind of struggling financially
Mm.
and it turned her off. But because of the type of person she was surprised that it turned her off. So I was thinking, like,
I wouldn't think that would get you.
nobody's safe kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Safe.
Yeah.
Because I think there are certain things that can kind of give you. I think if you're struggling financially, I can understand if you don't want to share with me.
Mm.
Because I wouldn't share with anyone if I was struggling financially. Do you get me?
Yeah.
But I think I don't want to know that you're struggling financially.
But if you've got enough sauce, if you've got enough minerals, you can tell a girl you can tell a girl you're struggling financially, and she'll be like, you know what, I'll wait.
I'll wait, babe. That's fine. What bills you got to pay? Because girls are paying guys rents, bills,
That's true.
cars, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So if you find the right
crazy.
egg,
Yeah.
you ain't gotta get a job.
It'll work for you still.
She's got you, babes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think what else.
What else is there?
What about if you was adopted? Or what if you couldn't have kids?
I find
The
the
adopted is funny.
was
Yeah.
funny. It's so random.
It's even Disney movie. Adopted, no, you don't have to tell me.
No, but
you tell me that when you're ready.
Adopted is like,
You don't see it as a big deal.
Nah.
Yeah, my dad ain't around. It's fine. I'm probably adopted and all.
If
We're
you-
all adopted by Christ.
It's
fine.
You say if you can't have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can't have kids, I think
I think that's important. I don't know if that's first conversation
I don't think it is.
reveal. No, I think ascertain what you are, where this is going first.
Absolutely.
Find out if he or she wants kids. Then it's definitely something
yeah,
you say before you get into a relationship for sure.
yeah.
But I don't think has to be like first date or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a conversation you have with someone if you can see yourself wanting to know them more and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like if you know this is heading towards a relationship, then yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
How about prison sentence?
If you ever went to prison?
I need to know that. I need to know.
Nah, that's tricky because what if I'm reformed and now you're going to judge me?
Nah.
And leave me because you look at me as a criminal now. But what if I've changed?
No, because if you look like a criminal, I would have talked to you.
You look like a criminal. No, you might just think, no, mindset.
Yeah, but I think you can get to show me that you're not that anymore.
If I went to prison, okay, does it depend on what I went to prison for? Because you
Oh,
might be
yeah.
embarrassed and ashamed
If
to
it's anything
admit.
sexual, goodbye.
Oh yeah, I don't think you should even be dating.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you know what I mean? Because I know that you have to log in with your probation officer that you're talking to me on the phone. If it's
I think
still milk,
I think it depends.
you should be embarrassed of that.
If it was me, for example, I'm telling the person I went to prison.
Yeah.
But it does depend on what it was for.
Mm.
Imagine I told the guy I went to prison for attempted murder.
Oof.
I think she might do a runner.
You think what?
She'll do a runner.
You think she might? She's sick.
She's
What
No,
do
no,
you
no,
mean?
no, she might. It's me.
Might.
I'm joking.
I don't think sauce is enough for that. But then again, I thought this.
No,
was
but
a tap.
yeah, but why though?
See.
But why? Why did I attempt murder?
Because you know, that's true actually. If you're trying to,
It could have been retaliation for something that someone.
And who was attempted murder on?
You know what I mean?
So ex-girlfriend, woof, gotta go. But then there's some girls, and this is what's, I tell you, we're actually like, we're down in dumps. Because there's some girls who will hear that and be like, oh, he's strong.
Let's say he's strong. Powerful. Hercules.
Jenny just made a good point. Yeah, she was saying you do need to know about if they're adopted because their biological family may be related to you, or they may have some hereditary
I'll be honest
illnesses.
I'll be so honest with you.
It's important, but is it first date important?
If I find my partner's adopted, yeah, I said like I didn't find out earlier, but we're already what's it called?
Enjoying.
I've already caught feelings. Listen, I've already caught feelings, whatever, and then it comes to you're adopted, and somewhere down the line, our family's related.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the market's tough.
What? As in,
As long as
but you.
I was saying this.
What's the conversation before? No.
well, that fancy my cousin. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember.
But like for me, if you're not like my half brother, half whatever, I'm not going to lie to you. You can run. Do you know I can run as well? But biblically, they were doing their cousins.
All right.
I'm honest with you. It's tough in the streets.
So,
It's very hard.
all right. So,
I'm being honest.
I think it depends how far in the bloodline it
Yeah.
is. If you're like so many people removed
Bruv,
and there's no actual DNA bondage.
linking us. Where's the DNA gone? How much DNA is in this DNA? Because I'm sorry. It's really hard here.
How far are we talking though?
I don't know how like the first, second, third cause I don't know how that works, but if it's like your mum and my mum, your mum and my mum, or your parents and my parents are not related, I think that's fine.
If your mum and then you're not related then.
Yeah, but like it could be like maybe great grand.
Okay, cool.
I'm fine with that. I can make use of that.
Okay, cool.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like our great grandparents.
We're sisters or brothers or something like that.
Yeah. We're not directly.
So like
you're
5
long-
generations, 4 or 5 generations.
Yeah, like you're a long cousin, man. You're fine.
I'm trying to figure out if that even has a connection.
Because I don't be connecting people.
Mm.
Like it takes a while for me to connect someone. So if I connect with you, boy, it's bare work.
Right, I've got a few actually in my head. Credit score, if it's bad.
Mm.
Ooh.
If they're in debt, like severely in
Yeah, that's
debt.
a good one.
Mm.
But I think even stuff like that, yeah. So I think in the debt one, I don't think it's a first conversation to have.
Mhm.
Just because you could be trying to work on it.
Mm.
And again, it comes that whole thing of someone might judge you
Yeah.
based off that. I think if it gets to the point where we're trying to be in a relationship and like settle down, I think even in a relationship, I think you can, if you're working on it and it's improving,
Mhm.
cool. But I think if it gets to the point where we're making like life plans,
Yeah.
we want to get married now, we want to buy a house now, we want to
Yeah.
holidays and stuff like that,
Yeah.
then you have to disclose that, okay, I'm not, financially, I'm not,
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But I feel like you kind of set the scene of how you are financially though from early, to be fair.
Yeah, pretty much. And also I feel like if someone's really trying, I don't think they'll be that they'll feel some type of way about not disclosing it to you. Because they may be like, oh, you know what?
Yeah.
In the past I did so and so,
Yeah.
but I'm trying now.
Yeah.
I've only got one thing to come off my credit score, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But hiding it,
Yeah.
you know, it's a bit.
What if someone had a job that they are a few years far removed from, but they're ashamed of it? Let's just say, I don't know, they used to be a porn star, or they've done like glamour modeling before, or a man was a gigolo, or
I need to know that. Because one time, the clip could just come on the timeline at a random point. Now things just resurface.
Is that first date, or is that like just later down the line?
I think that's later on, you know. Only because
Yeah, because first day I ain't calling you back.
yeah, you know what I'm saying, and also because it's private information, man.
But you know, it's
Is it though?
what is
You're, because if, for example, let me use porn star. If you're a porn star
Yeah.
and you've got videos and clips online that I may see, what are you living in hope that I'm not going to see it? I don't watch porn, so maybe I won't come across it. I feel like that's the decision I need to make whether or not I want to be with someone who's had that past. That past may not sit right with me.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
I mean-
but I see it more so like it's one of those things where it's like it's private information, something maybe you're not proud of or whatever.
Yeah.
And if I tell you from the jump, especially if I don't know enough about your character,
Yeah,
this may be detrimental to me.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if after a couple of days it's like, okay,
Yeah.
you know what, you seem like a cool person, man.
yeah,
I need to tell you this now.
yeah,
That's kind of how I see it.
yeah. You reckon you could be with a woman who told you she used to be porn star? Let's just say you were a year into your relationship and she revealed that she used to be porn star. I've tried my hardest to get rid of all the videos that exist online. A few still exist, so you might see some here and there. But I've tried my hardest to delete it. I've changed. And listen, there's no shame in it. If that's your chosen industry, that's your chosen. Go forth and prosper.
Exactly.
But obviously, to some people, it's a bit taboo, innit? It is what it is, isn't it? Would you be able to stay with her, or is it like a
No, I wouldn't be able to.
Do you know what's difficult there about that is that if you don't say it early on, you get comfortable because you never know. Because you know, sometimes you've got something to say to someone, but it's like the time passes. So now there isn't really a window to say it without it being a thing now. Do you get what I mean? So something like that, what is the chance of there being a window where you can just say this? And then you run the risk of, okay, I'm going to wait for the right opportunity.
Yeah.
And while you're waiting, one day I go in the timeline, now your dick is out.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So, and then now you have to then tell me.
Yeah.
So now it becomes a thing where I'm like, why didn't you tell me sooner? Now it's a bigger thing. So I think I would want to know that early on.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I think also, to be fair, I think a lot of stuff that I want to know only if it is a case where we want to take this further beyond like dating. If it's like relationship or we're getting to know each other deeper. Because even before you get to relationship, there's that point where you know that, okay, this person, I'm exclusively dating only this person.
Yeah.
I think at that point, in between us meeting, getting to know each other and the exclusive, I'm actually serious about this, let's see where this can go.
Yeah.
That's the point you need to tell me.
But I think this is where it gets a bit tricky because someone can then say, you know what? The understanding between the two of us is that we're just going to be chopping. So therefore, certain parts of my life, I shouldn't need to tell you.
Yeah,
like
of course,
that,
of
you know
course,
what I'm
of course,
saying?
yeah.
And especially, for example, even though it sounds wild, yeah.
Mm.
But even look at the HIV thing.
Mm.
If the dude's taking his medication or the woman's taking her medication, it's not showing the CD4 levels are mad low.
Yeah.
Plus, you're protecting yourselves.
Mm.
Could you then understand if that person only tells you 6 months down the line?
No.
Because at that point, they're thinking, you know what, wait a minute, this is now changed from just a friends with benefits thing to we actually like each other.
Yeah.
I need to tell you. But in the beginning, could you understand why they wouldn't tell you? You know what I'm saying?
I can understand why, in terms of, you know, self-preservation and them being fearful of the ramifications, but no. I feel like HIV and AIDS is something you need to disclose, but it's serious. You know what I mean? I hear it. I do hear you being scared to tell people, but nah.
Even, do you know what it is as well? Even like asthma, I've got asthma.
Mm.
I work that into conversations. We could be out one day and I have an asthma attack. You don't know what's going on with me. I think I'm having a panic attack. Nigga, my lungs is closing down. Do you get what I mean? Sometimes you need to know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's certain things you need to know so you know what to do. It's like someone being epileptic.
Yeah.
Then we're out one day, flashing light, you're having a fit. I don't know what to do.
Have you seen someone have a fit before?
Yeah, I believe I have actually, yeah.
I think the first time I ever saw that was in boarding
It's so
school as
scary.
well.
Yes, it was boarding school for
And
me.
they were, oh my days.
I think I've seen this before.
After seeing the lizard.
This guy.
What
I've seen this-
about like cosmetic surgery?
Ooh.
That's a good question, man.
Like either BBLs, breast jobs,
I think, again, for me, that kind of conversation will
facelifts,
come up.
no jobs, stuff like that.
I think, you know what, because you know when you talk about, but this is kind of conversations I have where I talk about life and how I've grown and blah, blah, and I talk like body confidence, all that kind of stuff. I think for me, if I had got work done, it would come into a conversation.
Okay.
It would be like a natural thing. I don't think I have to set out to tell you, but I think, again, it's something to know. One day you're sucking breast and my breast bursts. Now,
To be fair,
don't know
if
what
the
to
relationship
do.
gets physical, you'll see well,
You will see, yeah,
you might see
notice
the marks,
anyway.
the scars, but sometimes it's easier to tell anyway. What was I gonna say?
But you know with the BBLs though, right? Which is just like the fat transfer now, right?
Yeah.
Do you see scars?
Yeah, you can, there's
I'm not
way,
sure.
yeah, because they had to open you up to doing it. But sometimes, basically, the scar is like sometimes under the cheek.
Okay.
So it's not like a noticeable scar. But I think if it's like a tummy tuck and stuff, you can't really hide that. If it's a boob one, it tends to be like under the boob, like the line between the nipple.
Because I thought that
Under.
was all like the old school silicone ones where obviously you have to cut it open,
Yeah.
put in something.
Yeah, but there's better ways for scars now, but it has to be a scar because it can't totally disappear. Do you get what I mean?
Because I thought it was injections now. So if you're just
Oh, no,
injecting,
that's the illegal ones.
okay.
So
okay.
injections are the reasons why the girls were having so like K Michelle was nearly disabled and because those were illegal.
Okay.
Because basically they weren't shopping. Some people were being injected with cement and it was a whole thing, a whole scandal. Injection is not really the healthy way to do that.
Okay.
What's the condition when you can't grow hair? Is it
Alopecia.
You reckon that's important to disclose?
If you're bald,
So let's say you're a woman and you're bald, and you can't grow hair, and you know you're just changing wigs all the time.
yeah.
Is it important to say this is who I am? Because obviously when she's at home in her comfortable
I'd
state,
say, yeah.
she's gonna be wig off, and you have to be comfortable with that.
Yeah, I think that's something to say actually, yeah.
First date?
Not first date.
No, first date. I
'Cause
think
I can't have my business. Again, if it doesn't
after
work out.
the fifth wig change. then you tell
No,
me.
because like girls, I think it's a case of if we're gonna be close and intimate and stuff, then I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I can't have there's a certain person I can't have you, it doesn't work out. Now you're just I see you at a birthday party and I know you know what I have. It's just weird, man. And people compliment my hair, now you're looking at me. You don't even know. Do you get me? I can't have that. So, but I think that is something that yeah, you should discuss at some point. Because I'm someone who as well, I get comfortable with people very quickly. So if a guy meets me with makeup, when you FaceTime me, I'm not gonna run and put makeup, sir.
I've got another one. Mental health issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that one,
No, but I mean how soon?
I think from when you're having those light conversations again. Because something like that, yeah, sometimes you just have moments where you're just down. Do you get me? Say it hits you, right?
Yeah.
The other person you communicate doesn't know this. So they might be like, oh, they might get worried about you. Like, is the person okay? Blah, blah. Especially when you're new like that, you don't really have anyone that you can be like, okay, you check up on this person for me. You could be dead for all I know. I think that's something that you can talk about from early. You don't have to go into the details, but just like, you know what? Sometimes I can go quiet. That's because I deal with this stuff, blah, blah, blah. Hopefully I'll be strong enough to let you know. But if I don't, it's probably that. I think that's a conversation to have early. Because I would just think you ghosted me. Come back, I'm married. It's too late.
That's true.
Someone in the comments said about should you know someone's transgender?
Of course.
From prior to prior.
Of
Before
course.
the priors. What?
Yeah.
Very important
Yeah,
information, man.
Yeah, that's who you are.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's extremely important.
Also, but then it might be like, oh, actually no. To be fair, I can't say they might be like, oh, that's who I am. So I am who I am now.
I
So.
heard Mbappe is now dating transgender model.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw
Yeah.
that headline too.
Yeah.
Progressive.
Yeah, it's
But the thing is, though, when I first saw that and I saw a couple of pictures, I was thinking, are you sure? Because I think he was there with like 2 other girls. And it's like he was kind of in basically one picture, if I'm not mistaken, he's got like a towel or something. He's giving it to her or something, right? Or covering her. And in the other picture, it's just him with those 2 or 3 other girls. So
there's nothing of him holding the girl as I was picking her up. The thing is, the story's not 100% confirmed.
yeah, exactly.
But that's the rumor, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to like Shayborough or whatever, you see the comments, you just see how disgusting.
Let's pray it's true. Let's pray it's true.
What's that?
Let's pray it's true.
That's it's true.
Let's pray it is true.
Oh yeah. Well, I can say you just see how disgusting people are because they hate messages.
Yeah,
and I'm
man.
like, oh, if this is what he wants to do, this is what he wants to do.
That's
Because
his business, man.
because he's Mbappe, it's a big deal to you. If he was John Smith, you wouldn't care. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else think what else is there?
Something about like I guess if someone's had cancer before, I guess being able to survive cancer, people would typically say that.
Yeah, they'll tell you.
Gina just said, what if they have a terminal illness? They don't need to tell you. Defo.
Yeah. So terminal as in
I
as
could
in
die
Stage
soon.
4 cancer
as
or
in
something.
they can die soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if a man is impotent?
Gotta let me know, man.
From how soon?
What's impotent? Is that what your dick
Yeah.
don't work? Or
Mhm.
is that you can't give birth? You can't, sorry. You
No,
can't
isn't
produce sperm.
impotent mean
function.
that you can't?
Can't get out.
Oh, I thought impotent was you can't produce
Kids.
sperm. No, you can't produce sperm, but your sperm are not
It's mad
Inactive.
low.
working.
Wait, mate, it might be a combination on the bed. What is it?
Let me check.
The
Interesting.
official definition.
Okay, if your dick is not rising, I would like to know.
Okay, cool.
Or it's unable to. I'm not mocking this, by the way. I'm just saying.
I'm not gonna lie. If your
Unable
dick isn't
to.
rising, then why are you even on this date?
Companionship.
You need to go get that seen to first, man.
Is that curable?
Yeah. Well, depends the reason. If it's a mental thing, you can see therapy, you can, see a therapist and then deal with the issue. And I believe, it rectifies it.
That's a lot of deal. That's something as well.
But what if
Yeah,
the
you're
guy...
right. You're right. It's about not being able to maintain an erection.
Okay. So what if the guy can maintain it, right? But he needs Viagra, things of that nature. Would that matter to you? Does he need to tell you ASAP or?
You need to let me know because the guys on Viagra be
Oh,
a different kind of.
do
I
tell.
do not know. I'm going on.
She said woof. I'm sorry, woof. That seemed like it was coming from a place of experience.
It
You're
definitely,
like woof.
it definitely.
And then where's the woof coming from?
I remember the episode of Girlfriends. You guys are laughing a bit too much in this room. The episode of Girlfriends when Joan was dating an older man and she thought he was on Viagra, but he wasn't. But he was really like doing a lot. And from other people's stories I've heard, that Viagra sex is different. So you can't be out here knocking my walls to smithereens.
It's the smithereens.
And I'm just going off nature. You need to let me know. We're not equally yoked in energy in this room, sir.
Yeah, it's funny.
I would say, I think you need to let me know. I think anything to do with like intimacy and stuff, you gotta let me know, man.
Yeah, I agree.
How about any sexual trauma?
That's heavy. But yeah. It
I don't feel like that's first date conversation, but it's definitely a conversation to be had, especially if it's something that still affects you and that will affect you in this relationship. Yeah, for sure. But I don't think it's first date. So.
Same.
What about erectile dysfunction, yeah. But I don't think it's first
Oh
date.
yeah, erectile dysfunction is what I thought you were describing.
Thanks, DJ Blackstar.
How about if the person doesn't give head?
That's not a first date conversation.
That's not first date conversation, but you find out.
Yeah, you'll find out eventually.
But yeah, I don't think that's the first date. Unless that the girl is someone who, from the first conversation, she's the
she's
advocate for
open.
this.
If a girl tells me she don't give head on first date, then I know that all this is sex then. If that's what you're coming to tell me on the first conversation, I don't give head.
Yeah, that's
All
true.
right.
Okay.
You could beaver.
So what do you want for dinner? What do you want to go eat? Yeah. What was the question Brent asked before that?
How about if they are advocates for animal cruelty?
And advocate
Was that the
for
first
it.
Yes.
No, I'm talking about the one before this one.
Get away from me, man. You're an advocate for animal cruelty.
No, what is the one before that?
I think it's talking about
The
sexual
funny
trauma.
thing is, yeah, even though
Yeah, sexual trauma. Sorry, I was going to...
that's not even within my realm, like I'm not really an animal person yet, but that would
Yeah.
kind of be the eyebrow raising thing to say.
That's a psycho. That's someone that can kill
Huh?
you one day.
You're for animal cruelty.
Yeah.
Get away from me.
Literally, that's a
You're
murderer.
psychopath.
The sexual trauma one, I was going to say, I don't think it's a first date question.
Mm.
I also think it's a conversation you have with someone when they make you feel comfortable enough to have that conversation with them.
What if in the past that person has, I don't know, been judged harshly, and so they're thinking, you know what, I can't tell them that my so and so did this to me when I was younger.
Yeah. So I would, yeah.
And they wait a whole 2 years.
I'll be
Because
honest with you.
sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have not disclosed it till after they're married, you know.
And I think that's okay.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think if it comes to your trauma, I believe like whenever you're comfortable
Yeah.
to tell me, that's fine.
I think as long as it's not having an adverse effect on our relationship.
Okay.
Say, for example, it's a sexual one, right?
Mhm.
And that means that it's put you off wanting to have sex.
Mhm.
And anytime I offer sex, you're like, oh, no.
Mm,
At some
yeah.
point, you're going to have to let me know why that is. But I think
Yeah.
if it's something that you're personally healing through and dealing with and whatever,
Yeah,
when you're good and ready, and if that's never, that's fine.
yeah.
What about if abortions? So a woman, for example, you're dating a woman or whatever, or about to, and she's had, let's just say, 2 abortions in her life. How soon do you feel you need to know, or do you even feel you need to know? And also, as a guy, he's maybe paid for, let's just say, 3 to 5 abortions. Do you feel like you need to know?
No.
Okay.
I don't think you will need to know how many abortions a woman has had. I don't think, well, let me just say me. I don't think a guy, not that I've had any, but I don't think a guy, if I had any, it's not a guy's business.
Okay.
But also, I think unless, again, where we're trying to have kids in the future,
It affects it.
and maybe something happened, some kind of mishap happened, and then it's affecting my ability to have children,
Yeah.
I can tell you that then.
Okay.
But even then, I just tell you I'm unable to have kids, medical
Mm.
mishap.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's important for the woman to
No.
disclose that, or man. I feel like if it comes up, if it's, you know what I mean, I think that's like on a need to know basis. So let's just say, for example, you're dating someone, she gets pregnant, and let's just say the man doesn't want her to keep the baby, and she wants to keep it, and she's showing resistance. She could say, I don't want to have another abortion. I've already had 2. So, you know what I mean? I think there's a right
that's
time to bring it up. I don't think you have to say it just for no reason.
Yeah, but I will say though, if a guy just let me know that he's paid for 3 to 5 abortions, that is putting me off, and I'm not calling you back.
This is what I was
But
thinking.
what if it was a woman's choice? As in she wanted to have the abortion, and he just paid for it.
That's fair, but I just think, do you not have safe sex? Obviously, there's other things that play into it, but it just shouts it being irresponsible to me.
If if it's 3 different women, or if it's the same one woman.
Okay, if it's the same one woman, this is bigger than me. It's above me.
It's above-
It's above me
this
now.
is above my pay grade.
Above my pay grade. Because you guys really had problems. But if it's like 3 different women, I just think there's you can take the right precautions to prevent this happening. And I think that should have been taken.
Yeah.
Someone said, what if they were accused of sexual abuse?
But were, as in they were wrongfully accused.
Yeah.
If they were wrongfully accused, rightfully accused, I want to know.
Yeah.
Even if you're wrongfully accused, let me know, because if this comes up in the future, I don't know that it was wrong. I don't want do you get what I mean? If you don't say anything to me and someone just says to me, oh, you're dating this person,
Yeah.
blah, blah, but there's actually evidence to show that you didn't do it and maybe the person hasn't had an update of the case,
Yeah.
that's awkward for me. That puts me in a
It's
very
tough though.
disgusting
as
situation.
As a man, I can see why you'd be hesitant to tell a woman that you were wrongfully accused, because even the accusation enough carries a lot of weight.
Yeah, when you
For
said
a
that,
woman,
smoke about fire.
yeah, so he might be afraid that the woman might not believe him,
Mm.
that, you know, maybe you did do it, or you just got away with it.
Yeah.
So it's techie.
It's techie, but I do think that you should still give me the choice.
And okay, is that a first date conversation, or that later down the line?
It's the same one as you gotta let me know before it ever comes out where I have to find out that way.
I'm not gonna lie, if I'm wrongfully accused, I'm not bringing it up in the first date or
Mm.
anything. I think in that situation, I'll definitely use let me make you love me or like me first. No, for real.
Yeah.
Because if I'm innocent
Mm.
and I'm afraid that you're gonna judge me solely based off
And
the
you don't know my
accusation
character.
alone,
Yeah.
then I need to make you like me first. Because then at least I feel like I have a chance when I do tell you that you might stay with me. You know what I mean?
Mm. So what if they're dating men and women?
Mm.
I definitely need to know that.
Yeah.
100%.
If you're bisexual.
Yeah, but some people are not bisexual. They don't have a label.
Oh, okay.
So it's just, this is what I do. I need to know what it is you're doing.
Is it because it's man and woman or because you just want to know if they're dating other
Because
people?
it's man and woman.
Okay.
I only want to be with a man who,
That likes a
That-
woman.
yes, that is just with women.
Okay.
Monkeypox.
What if they've had it?
I just had Tourette's. Sorry.
I don't know what he's talking about.
This guy.
Yeah,
Um,
no, yeah. I think it's important.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's first date stuff, but
Okay.
and also, are you actively dating? both
You say that's not
sexes?
first date. For me, that's a first date, you know.
Mm.
No, if you're actively doing it, or is it something that you dabble in from time to time, or maybe your last encounter with someone of the same sex was time ago, but it's something that might pop up again whenever. You know what I'm trying to say? Is it prominent in your day to day?
I'll be honest, even if you've experimented, I still want to know.
If your husband, and I think this is like confidence I've seen online before, if your husband told you, oh yeah, back in college, I sucked the man's dick for a dare. What? This is I've heard this online. Would that turn you off? Actually, to be fair, let me even ask the
Yes.
question: Is that
100%.
something that your husband should disclose to you? He done something as a dare, it was just a dare,
I'll be
or he
honest,
was
yeah.
doing the fraternity, the fraternity thing. in America.
Yeah, the what's it called? What?
Uh,
Not initiated.
Pledging.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. If I've married you,
Mm.
take that to your grave, and you better pray and never find out. I can never find out.
No, I hear that. I don't think.
You take that to your grave.
Not that I would ever do it, but I don't think I'll bring that up.
You don't think what? You bring it up?
I wouldn't bring it up.
Yes,
I'll take
why
it to
you
the
bring it
grave.
up?
I'm not gonna lie. If you find out through the grapevine, well, it is.
It is a divorce. That's what it is.
I'm bringing it up.
That is
I feel like,
mad.
yeah, you should. That should. You don't tell me that. And then I think you should just make sure I never find out. Because if I find out, the consequences will be as if you told me.
Yeah, for real.
But I just think that should not be something that you tell me.
Mm.
That should be one of those dark memories you literally lock away. Suck the dick. Damn.
Someone said, whilst Marks is away, I need someone to sit ignorant-ish with chest constantly.
You can say it in the
Who's
comments.
who's gonna be that person?
Brent.
For sure.
You already do
You're,
it
the-
anyway.
you're 100% that person.
Does the person watch the show? Because you've been doing it. Even in the comments, he's out here talking about I kissed my cousin and all sorts.
Are you?
I did not.
Okay.
Don't act confused.
It was a conversation.
Did I
Okay, sorry.
ever tell you
I
that I did
apologize.
that?
Apologize.
You don't. Because you're going to do the
Apologize.
same thing again, Brent.
I apologize for being on air.
Just mad is that people actually, Brent says stuff and people believe it.
Because they don't know that Brent's a compulsive liar.
Damn.
I'm an entity.
Somewhere out there,
I'm an
someone has
entertainer.
locked off this life.
Yeah.
And what the memory that's stuck with them
Yeah.
is that Esther lips is her cousin.
Mm.
Gosh. All right, let's get to the next headline.
Okay, so a man has been arrested on suspicion of murder and attempted murder over the killing of 9-year-old Olivia Pratt-Korbel. The 34-year-old from Liverpool is being questioned by detectives from Merseyside police. The man arrested on suspicion of murder and attempted murder was detained in Runcorn in the early hours of Sunday and is being held in custody. For those unaware, Olivia was shot in the chest when a gunman chased another man into her home in Dovecot, Liverpool on the 22nd of August. Neither of the men who entered the home had any links to her family. Her mother, Cheryl, was shot in the wrist as she tried to shut the door on the attacker, but he fired 2 more shots at the man he had pursued. 2 other men, aged 29 and 41, have been detained on suspicion of assisting an offender. The 41-year-old from Knowsley in Merseyside was also arrested in Runcorn, and the 29-year-old man, however, was arrested later after officers executed warrants at 2 addresses in the Liverpool area. Detective Chief Superintendent Mark Kameen, who is leading the investigation, said, "We still need the public's help in ensuring that we can build a strong evidential picture so justice is served for Olivia and her family. I appeal for those who may have information, no matter how small, that could continue to help our inquiries, to contact us directly or anonymously, and we will do the rest." So yeah, it's good that they're getting somewhere.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, and our next headline is Priti Patel. She's still looking for ways to deport illegal
The
immigrants.
devil works hard, yeah, but Priti Patel works harder.
So sex abuse survivors, human slavery, and torture victims are among at least 19 people who have been warned in recent days that they face being deported to Rwanda as the Home Office keeps faith with its brutal policy before a major legal challenge this week. As signs mount that Priti Patel's new plan for immigration is faltering, details have emerged of the next cohort of asylum seekers whom the Home Secretary wants to send on a deportation flight to Africa. Information shared by charities indicates that 6 were trafficked or tortured, including one who was detained and beaten in a warehouse
Wow.
in the Libyan desert for 8 weeks. Not a single asylum seeker has been sent to Rwanda nearly 5 months after Patel's policy was announced. A judicial review of its lawfulness will be heard in the High Court this week. Another central element of the immigration plan, which is the setting up of new processing centres for asylum seekers, also appears to have stalled. So as of right now, it looks like nothing's going to plan, but it's emerged that the government is considering reintroducing its refugee pushback policy for use against small boats crossing the channel. This is extremely controversial, as it's been said that the pushback policy implemented by Greece was an atrocity against humankind, which was responsible for the drowning of 2 men who were trying to get ashore. So yeah, the pushback policy is basically anyone who comes to your shores, whatever, you immediately be like, nope, it's not happening, bang.
Okay.
You're not taking him aboard, sure, you're not trying to do asylum stuff, none of that. It's go back to where you come from immediately. And they did that in Greece. And allegedly, they even threw a couple of these men off the boat or whatever.
Yeah.
And they drowned.
That's
So
sad.
yeah, it's sad, man. But yeah, that's the end of the headlines.
All right. Well, let's get into Word on Road. Okay, not much happened this weekend, but these are all positive stuff I've got for you today. So Monique and Lee Daniels, you guys remember when Precious came out?
Mhm.
And so basically Monique been beefing hella people, man. I like Monique though. I think she's got a point to what she's saying. I think people paint her to be a mad person and difficult and blah, blah, but I do think there's a method. There's a reason behind her stuff. I think maybe the delivery is not always great, but she has a point, and I think she's always frustrated. But anyways, so she fell out with Lee Daniels. So basically, when Precious came out, just a bit of context for you guys. When Precious came out, she was due to do a tour. You know the press tour you do with the movie, right?
Mhm.
However, it was award season, and also the length of time she's going to be away. She's going to be away from her family for so long, and she had a problem with that. She said, "It's not my contract to do this. The length of time is ridiculous. It's going to be a long time, and it's award season, and I want to be at these events or whatever." And so they had a problem with the fact that she didn't want to promo the movie, even though the movie wanted to do great things anyway. And so she always claimed that Lee Daniels, Oprah, and Tyler Perry blackballed her in the industry, which I kind of can believe because these are powerhouses. And I think when you do a narrative, especially in a black woman, that they're difficult to work with, that spreads like wildfire, right? So anyways, positive news. 13 years later, they're good now. They're reconciled.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and she's going to be in one of his films. So he's got a Netflix film coming out, which is a horror film. It's called Demon House. And so she's going to be replacing Octavia Spencer, who was casted as one of the leads in the film, but she's not able to do it anymore because of another something else she's doing with Apple TV. So Monique is going to be doing, and over the weekend they wrapped up the filming for it.
Oh.
And she posted a picture with them. No, Lee Daniels posted a picture with him and Monique laughing because they used to go on really, really well. She was really close to Oprah, really close to Tyler Perry. They were really good friends. I guess it must have been difficult or feeling like you're cut out of that circle. So he made an Instagram post and he said, "It's a wrap for the real Mo Worldwide," which is Monique's Instagram, "for the deliverance. Our journey continues." And they had a lovely heart
I think that's
emoji.
good, man.
So that's very positive news. I like when people make up and, you know,
Especially when they're black, man.
especially when they're black and we can achieve great things together. Monique is super talented. So is Lee Daniels. It's just a whole thing. Do you know what I mean? They can be really great with it.
Yeah.
When I think of Lee Daniels, I think of when Justice Smollett did what he did. And he was one of the people that really supported him, blah, blah, blah. And then when the case started going left, they killed him off the show. It's absolutely hilarious.
Oh, so Lee Daniels does
Empire.
Empire. Okay.
Yeah, he's a creator of Empire, yeah. And then next on my list, also positive news from the UK, Digga D has started his own music label.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, so he posted... Hold on, sorry. Yeah, so he says, a lot of people have trouble with their record labels, and I told Groundworks Online, I don't want that problem, so I'm going to start my own. So his record is BMR, which is Black Money Records. And he hashtag Big BMR, and on their page, the Instagram page, it says, proud to announce the launch of Black Money Records. We as a team are about to bring some noise to the UK. So, yeah, it should be cool. See what they come up with, see what happens.
Big up Digga D.
Creating for self, aren't they?
He's young and he's thinking like this already.
Sick.
Independent. I love he even put the black inside it as well.
Yeah.
Self-reliance. Love it.
Are you sure?
No, I feel the black.
Is it under a subsidiary? Or is it a subsidiary? Sorry? Is it under another
Is it
record
under
label?
another label?
Might be.
Might be, probably.
Still, the mentality is there.
Well, it's still there.
To not want to be under somebody else
Yeah.
entirely.
Because he did say, I told Groundworks Online. So
Yeah.
maybe
Because
it's like a
everyone starts that
collaboration.
way. Bad Boy was like that. They were
Yeah.
under... Who's Bad Boy under?
I don't remember who they were under. Maybe Universal, maybe...
Yeah. They were under
Sony.
someone.
Can't
Death Row
really-
was under Interscope, right? Yeah, so people have been under... Yeah.
Yeah, but
still.
sometimes it's good as well to just... I think just that mindset anyway that he has is
Yeah.
really, really good. I think he's a young guy, isn't he, as well?
Yeah, man.
And then my last bit as well was just a bit of funny tea that I just found funny. So you know how Chris Brown's been doing the whole meet and greet stuff? I would love to do that, but I can't part with so much money like that. And if I did one with Chris Brown, yeah, like listen, Bella and Nigel will post it because it would look like a wedding shoot. I'm making this look like an engagement photo shoot. But anyways, so I feel like he's inspired a lot of artists to start doing that. And he did say that. He said, I'm starting something. I want us to appreciate the people that actually got us where we are, blah, blah. Chris is just amazing. But anyways, Bow Wow has his own package. And I thought I'd just read what this package is made of.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who's trying to pay $1,000 to see Bow Wow.
That's the highest package, isn't it? I saw this.
Yeah.
I saw someone said, oh yeah, I've got my package. I looked at the price, I saw £1,000. I said,
Why?
but he had like 3 different tiers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a Diamond VIP package and this is $1,000. And so it says the Bow Wow Diamond VIP package includes the ultimate hang with Bow Wow, a 30 to 45 minute personal hang and tour conducted by Bow. Only 10 fans in each CT will get a behind the scenes look at backstage areas, lounge, tour bus, and more. Does anyone really care to see what a tour bus looks like?
Not really,
I'm
but
surprised.
if you're a big fan of that artist, then just being around them, you're going to be giddy for that. You know what I mean?
You're not ridiculous. Personal meet and greet and photo with Bow Wow. Attend Bow Wow's pre-show VIP lounge party. See, stuff like this, I want to know, does it come with free drinks too? Because to
Probably
attend
does.
is one thing.
Yeah, for £1,000, you're definitely getting free drinks.
You're not, it's $1,000.
It's backstage. Backstage, you don't pay for nothing backstage.
Okay.
Everything's just laid out.
I'm yet to experience that. I love it. Digital download of your meet and greet with Bow Wow. I don't know what that means.
So a digital download of your picture that you take with him.
Maybe
The edge of that to me.
I have video footage as well. You know that.
You can show your friends and they don't believe it. You show your bank statement, bro. Okay, then souvenir VIP laminates and lanyard.
Nice.
I'll be honest with you, I think that could have been a gold chain if I'm paying $1,000.
But is this funny because it's Bow Wow? Because if this was
Yes!
Beyonce, you'd be like, oh, this is worth it.
Yes! Yeah, if Beyonce it would absolutely be worth it. For me, Bow Wow, imagine BTK doing this.
Yeah, but if
Like,
you're a Bow Wow fan, for you it's worth
then it
it.
makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But, my dad has got some more stuff. Commemorative VIP hoodie. So might have his face on it or something, I don't know. Exclusive drawstring bag.
What?
When I say they're grasping at any and every, I feel like he's doing so much to just. I don't know that Chris Brown had to give like how many points is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Had to give 8 things to make you because this list sounds like they're trying to convince you
That
why this is a
£1,000
good deal.
worth it,
A drawstring bag, not even like a collaboration Bow Wow X Nike vibe. A drawstring bag.
People even use those bags nowadays.
No. Like, okay. And then the last one is access to early merchandise shopping with special item available for sale only to VIP guests. You don't even get it for free. I thought this was absolutely hilarious.
Did you watch the B2K Drink Champs?
I haven't watched it yet, but I've been seeing Fizz been talking a lot I'm gonna watch it and I want to get into it properly. Have you watched it?
Yeah.
Actually, can you give us some tea on it?
It wasn't anything new that I didn't really know already.
Yeah.
Obviously Raz-B's been speaking for years about all this stuff with Chris Stokes, and Noriega tried to tried to get him to speak about it, but he didn't want to speak about it. And I feel like the takeaway was that the B2K beef or breakup was because of Little Fizz and Omarion's relationship, as opposed to all four of them not getting along.
Okay.
Everything always seemed to stem from Fizz and Omarion. Fizz and Omarion.
Yeah.
It was decent though. I can't believe I actually watched all of it in one go.
How long was it?
I was really bored on that day. 3.5 hours.
You had a quiet weekend?
3.5 hours.
3.5 hours?
Yeah, I watched it straight.
Yeah, you had a chilled weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. Apparently, sorry, on the Lee Daniels stuff as well, Ebony Onyx is telling me as well that so Monique would have had to pay for her own hair and makeup during the press run. And he also basically, she was meant to have the role of Cookie Lion and he gave it to Taraji. I'll be honest with you, I did not see Monique being Cookie.
I can see it, but I think Taraji done a great job.
Taraji killed that. That was for Taraji. Do you know what I mean? She killed that. Did you guys know? I found out recently actually that what's her name? My Wife and Kids.
Tisha Campbell.
Yes. Tisha Campbell. She wasn't meant to be Jay.
Who was meant to be Jay?
Someone else. She just snuck into. No, she wasn't. Not that she wasn't meant to be Jay. Sorry, she never had an official audition for the thing. She snuck in.
Okay.
So she said how basically, not me trying to call her Rochelle. Tichina Arnold. Do you know they're really good friends?
Yeah.
She had an audition for My Wife and Kids. I think it's following like Martin and stuff.
Yeah.
So she had an audition for My Wife and Kids, and then she was telling Tisha about it, and then Tisha was like, "Oh, I want to go to that kind of thing." She's like, "Oh yeah, these are the details, blah blah."
Yeah.
And so she got there to where it was, and then she basically was like, got her acting on, and was like to the security, "Oh, yeah, I meant to have oh my gosh, oh crap, I can't believe I forgot the thing. I really need that." She just like talking about she forgot her paperwork and blah 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 blah. And the guy's like, "Okay, just fine, just go through." Went through and she got the job. Amazing.
There you go.
Yeah. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, guys, that is all from me today. Let's get into the People's Journal.
All right, people, welcome to the People's Journal. I'll give you the news from an economics point of view. I won't be long today, but I do want to touch on what Liz Truss is basically saying. So she's basically pledging that she's going to have an energy plan in a week if she becomes the Prime Minister. So obviously everyone's kind of scared at the moment what's going on.
Yeah.
And a lot of them haven't really given the details. When I say a lot of them, as in Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak.
Yeah.
Although Sunak is basically saying, we have a plan already. He said this already. We have a plan. And he's also saying the fact that Liz Truss doesn't have a plan already should concern everybody.
But then can he give Liz Truss his plan?
He can, if he loses after. He may be like, look, for the benefit of the country, look, this is what I was thinking.
I think that will show if he's actually going to be a good leader or not.
That's true.
If he knows that this plan could actually work and save everybody money, and he gives it to her, I think that'd be really cool. But I would trade in for like a senior governor thing.
Good point. But I think there would be a clash though, because they both see things, they both come from different economic schools of thought.
Yeah.
So when they've talked briefly about how they would kind of tackle this issue, they've clashed in it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
So they wouldn't see eye to eye anyway. But the fact that he's saying we have a plan already, we've sorted this, at least in his mind, speaks volumes. And Liz Truss obviously hasn't done enough yet. But again, she has pledged that within a week of her becoming Prime Minister, if she does become Prime Minister, she will have something laid out, man, and she'll let the people know. At the same time, if we go across into further in Europe, Germany now, who I've spoken about before, who have been going through some tough times here because of how much they relied on Russia, they've announced that they're going to be given a 65 billion euro package of measures to ease the threat of rising energy costs. So basically, they've had packages before. This one's much bigger than the previous two. And it's going to include a one-off payment to the most vulnerable and tax breaks to energy-intensive businesses. So I guess they're trying to hit it from both angles.
Yeah.
Like I said before, in the UK, the Ofgem's energy cap doesn't affect businesses. So this is the reason why a lot of businesses are kind of considering like closing up shop because their projections are just going through the roof. So it's good that Germany's kind of seen that that's kind of a flaw, at least in their economy. And so we're going to be helping some of the energy intensive businesses. And also, of course, the most vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, energy prices have soared since February. And yeah, it seems like all of Europe are slowly trying to wean themselves off of Russian energy.
Yeah.
This Truss, again, going back and forth with their debates and whatnot, a lot of people have spoken about her, I guess, her angle in terms of how to tackle inflation and, make the economy a lot better than it is presently. And she's always been talking about how she wants to bring in a low tax economy.
Yeah.
Low tax economies obviously benefit businesses a lot more, right? And she's saying that's fine. You know what I'm saying? She said she's looking to press ahead with those plans to be for the UK to be a low tax economy and with less focus on wealth redistribution. Now, the average person, middle class, lower class, definitely are more about, look, let's get this wealth distributed. The rich make loads of money. Let's take more of their profits and let's distribute it. Obviously, if you're from the economic thought that Liz Truss is from, you don't really believe that's a good thing to do. I won't give my views too much on that. But basically, I see where she's come from, right? That's all I'll say. And I think, again, like I've said before, people work best when there's incentives, right? You can't just rely on the goodness of a human being. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't work. People need to feel like I'm going to gain something from this. Lower tax, businesses will do more. And in turn, you just have to hope that some of that wealth benefits the entire economy as a whole. Also, gas prices, unfortunately, are looking to perhaps even be higher than last time projected.
Surprise.
And the reason for this is because basically Russia has a certain pipeline, right? That obviously Europe rely on, right? And they pretty much shut this pipeline indefinitely, right? I reported on this about a month ago, I think, or maybe more, where basically they shut it down just for maintenance. It appears they're doing the same thing because they've said that they again discovered another fault during maintenance, but they have no real projections on when we're going to open it up again. Which means, again, most people are going to have to source all of their gas from other countries. The price will go up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, so even though, like I said before, prices have risen up by about 400% over the past year, it may go higher than that, man. So yeah, it doesn't really look good. But again, like I keep saying to everyone, I know it's easier said than done, a lot easier said than done. But especially now when you don't necessarily need your heat in, a certain light on in the house 24/7. Like, turn it off, man. Like, just save and really think about this winter because it's gonna be nuts, man.
So we're going back to the regular lighting.
What do you mean?
No, we're not.
You don't care about mine?
No, because first of all, these lights are only on for the duration of the show.
Wait, that's not even the argument. Yet, but we won't get into what the real argument is talking about.
So cheeky.
But yeah, that's what I have for the people joining today, man.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right, let's get into the rotation.
All right, guys, welcome to the rotation, your weekly music breakdown. So not much kind of to my interest this week, so it's going to be a short one, but I'm hoping Esther can help me with one of these releases. So we'll start with your girl, Ari Lennox, who released her EP, Away Message, which is a warm-up for her album, which drops this Friday, called Age, Sex and Location. Right, so this offering is 5 songs, 14 minutes. You got one feature on there, Summer Walker. She's on Queen's Space. I think it's the first time I actually properly sat down and intentionally listened to Ari Lennox.
Really?
I listened to it a couple of times because it's quite short.
Yeah.
I listened to
Easy
it.
listening.
Yeah, I think I listened to it like 4 times. Mellow, sultry R&B, kind of like neo soul type vibe. I would say this is like new age, old school R&B. If that makes sense, right? Great production, great vocals. Actually, on my last listen, it was quite late. I listened to it in the dark with some candles and just got into my
Going to the zone.
got into my zone. if these are the songs that didn't make the album,
Mm.
then I'm very intrigued to know what the album is like. Because I feel like these songs are very, very good. These songs to me are album-worthy songs.
Mm.
So if this is the, you know, just have this little,
Hold that.
hold that until next week,
Mm.
then this is a nice setup for the album.
Yeah.
And I'm not really, prior to this, I wouldn't say I was an Ari Lennox fan, but I've definitely been converted. I'm definitely going to check it out. I even went to listen to Hoodie,
Oh yes.
the second single off the album, and
Mhm.
Hoodie's sick.
This is.
Yeah, Hoodie's sick as well. So I'm definitely gonna have my, you know, my candles ready for next week when the album drops. My favorite songs on there: Queen Space and No Settling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yours?
I love Tatted.
You're tight. Yeah, tight is
Yeah.
cold.
Queen Space is nice as well.
Yeah,
I think because it's like the first one, it's like it was the first teaser.
yeah,
I think I like Tatted and
yeah,
I like No Setting as well.
yeah, yeah. With 5 songs, you can't really go wrong. To be fair,
You honestly.
there's no room for fillers there. It's just gonna be five songs of quality. What's your overall thoughts on the EP?
I love it.
Yeah.
I think it was a nice surprise because the worst things you can do is give people a surprise and
Yeah,
you say you could take it back.
Mm.
I think it was a really nice surprise, and I think similar to you, where to be fair, I didn't think it wouldn't. When you mentioned that maybe there's songs that didn't make the album, I thought
Yeah.
actually that's a good.
yeah.
So and now you just said if these are the ones that didn't make the album,
Imagine what the
Album
album
should be-
sounds like.
yeah.
Yeah,
so I'm really looking forward. I think this project, because I listened to her, so I think this project I can tell that she's grown and she's evolved a lot, like even beyond how she looks, just as she is as a person. She's
Yeah.
really evolved just from what I see on social media.
yeah,
And like her Instagram lives are bloody hilarious. But yeah, so I feel like she's really putting her heart and soul
Mm.
into this one.
yeah,
And I'm hoping that this will be the one that gets her the awards. Because she gets disheartened when she doesn't get awards.
yeah.
And yeah, she does. She gets very disheartened when she doesn't get awards. So I'm hoping this album will be the one that gets her that recognition that
Yeah.
feel
I
like
think
she
I
should
saw a
get.
few things about Pressure. I think Pressure wasn't really being supported
Yeah.
when it first got released, but I think it was like a slow burner.
Mm,
So when it first got released, there wasn't much attention
Yeah.
around it. Then as time went on, it started to chart.
yeah.
It was, in the rotation,
Mhm.
no pun intended. So yeah, no, I'm a fan of it. I really
Yeah.
now. Yeah,
She's
so
super cool.
I'm looking forward to the album.
And she has nice shows. Her shows are lit as well.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, that's definitely my rotation.
Love it.
And I can't wait for the album on Friday. And obviously, I'll give you my review of that next Monday.
Yeah.
All right, next we got Giggs, who released a new single called The Maximum. So I've kind of lost count of how many singles and features Giggs has done this year.
Yeah. I thought,
He's very active. He's been here, he's been in America, he's been hanging around with Mano a lot and, liaising overseas. He's collabed with, this year alone, he's collabed with Tion Wayne, H, Tiny Boost, Young's Teflon, Lethal B. On the US side, he's done songs with Jim Jones, Rowdy Rebel, a few up-and-coming US artists by the names of O Wave and Yellow Zoo. And, he's active right now, isn't it? Obviously, he's fresh off of the Jay-Z nod on God Did. So, Giggs he's bubbling. So when I saw that he had a track coming out, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm looking forward to this because he seems to be in a particular zone or space and I feel like he's got a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to hearing this. From the snippet, I didn't love it, but when I heard the full track, I knew that would give me a better idea of the song. I'm not sure if this is a Lucy, like a throwaway song, or this is like a single of a project. Well, prior to hearing it in full, I wasn't sure. After hearing it, I'm pretty sure this is just probably a Lucy, to be fair. I don't love the beat. Really, parts of the beat sound kind of childish. It's hard for me to describe, but that's kind of how I feel when I hear it. It sounds kind of childish. Typical Giggs flow and delivery. Although his flow on this song was a bit more faster and skippier than it normally is. And I've heard in a while anyway. Overall though, disappointed with the song.
Really?
Considering where I believe he is right now. And obviously this is not like a first single off an album. So it doesn't have to be great, but just considering, everything that's happening with him right now, I just wanted something a bit meatier. I feel like this is kind of lukewarm. It's nothing special in it. And obviously there's been murmurs and rumblings throughout the years that Giggs is not as good as he used to be. And he doesn't, he's not as potent lyrically and he's, the overall notion is, that Giggs is not fallen off as in who he is, but his actual artistry has dipped. in terms of the quality of his music and the quality of his rapping and bars. And I feel like I hear it sometimes and I don't hear it sometimes as well. I feel like he's kind of like out of all the singles he's released this year, there's definitely some throwaways in there and there's definitely some great ones as well. So I reckon maybe where Giggs lacks nowadays is his consistency. I think maybe he does too much. Because he does too much, he leaves himself with a lot of room for error. Maybe. But yeah, the song doesn't make the rotation, unfortunately. I'm a big fan of Giggs. But this one doesn't hit the mark for me. But I'm looking forward to, what's next from him. I feel like an album might be coming, hopefully. It's got a video as well, which is cool, but again, didn't really help me like the song. And yeah, that's it for this week. Giggs, Ari Lennox. We got one yes, one no. And
We're
I'll
going to have
be
a
back.
busy week next week, though.
Yeah, I'll be back next week with more. I feel like
We've got Asha here.
Asha K album comes out.
Yeah.
Did you speak about the track listing?
No, I don't think I
Right,
did.
because I was going to do it, but in my head, I thought you'd done it already, so I
No,
didn't
you
bother.
can do it.
I think
Cool.
you touched on it. I think you did.
Did I?
Yeah, I was thinking you did. I was thinking,
Yeah.
I swear Esther's done this, because you were talking about how...
Oh, yes, I talked about there was three. Yeah. 'Cause I talked about
Yeah.
how Sungba was on the
Yeah.
Yes.
remix. So
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah.
um,
It was actually released the letters. Wow.
the
titles.
titles.
And there's only one feature. Well, apart from the burner one.
I swear it was Russ.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no, it was
Russ.
Russ. Everyone kept asking,
Who's
well,
Russ?
I saw online, they were like, what Russ is that, please? Is that the UK
What
Russ
Russ is that, please?
or the US Russ?
Mm.
I'm going to assume it's the
Might be the US.
US Russ,
Yeah, I think it might be the US.
only because the UK Russ, it might have said Russ Millions.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
And no offense
That's interesting.
to Russ Millions, but I would assume that if you're the only feature on this album, it probably would be the US Russ.
Yeah.
No offense.
No, but
Yeah. If you're going to have
Yeah.
one feature on your album,
in line,
it ain't going to be Russ Millions. It's going to be someone of a higher stats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
And I don't see how they would have crossed paths.
What's that?
I don't see how they would have crossed paths.
So yeah, that album comes. So yeah, next week I've got to listen to this. I've got to listen to Ari,
Next.
and I'm sure there'll be a few others as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it actually because I like the single. But yeah, all right. Next week we'll have a lot more.
We go
guys.
again.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into our last headlines for today. Just before you do, someone, Ebony Onyx said something in the comments I think will help a lot of people. So it just ties to the whole energy stuff. So she said, if you're on benefits, if you are on benefits, put your gas and electric as an attachment to earnings. They collect the money directly through DWP. Your energy bills will remain the same price until April 2023. Just thought that might help people.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so headline is the Pope has been beatified. I'll get into
You don't
that.
know how I read that.
How'd you read it?
Beatified.
Okay.
It was giving me, because someone said something about bestiality earlier. I said, here we go.
So Pope John Paul I, who led the Roman Catholic Church for 33 days in 1978, has been beatified at the Vatican, which is the last step before you actually become a saint. Right? So thousands gathered in St. Peter's Square for the ceremony led by Pope Francis. Last year, Pope Francis credited the late Pope with the miracle cure of an Argentinian girl. A second miracle is needed for the move to sainthood. Described as the smiling Pope, John Paul I was the shortest serving Pope since 1605. John Paul I was born Albino Luciani, the son of a bricklayer in the Dolomites Mountains in Italy. During his brief tenure, he defended the Roman Catholic Church's opposition to abortion and contraception, but he also sought to reform institutions and root out corruption. Pope Francis described him as someone who lived without compromise. John Paul I died of a heart attack on the 28th of September in 1978. His death caused much controversy and conspiracy theories due to two slightly differing accounts. The Vatican said he was found dead by two nuns. So for an individual to be beatified, a miracle needs to be attributed to prayers made to them after their death. The miracle attributed to the now beatified Pope was the healing of this 11-year-old Argentinian girl after her parents had prayed to Pope John Paul I. In the last 1,000 years, just 8 popes have been made saints.
Yeah. I was interested to see whether popes could have sex. So I had to Google it to see they could get married and stuff. They can't.
Nah, they can't do any of that.
That's,
They're devoted to Jesus.
I mean, there is history that some of them have been doing they've been
Step.
doing it.
Never
They
stopped
shouldn't
them
have been
before.
doing it.
Allegedly.
It's never stopped them before.
Exactly.
Allegedly, Brent.
Allegedly, not allegedly. The victims have said what they've said.
All right, and our next headline is to do with Nirvana. So they've won. Oops, pardon me, sorry guys, my mistake. But
I
yes,
want to get an iPad.
So this is about Nirvana, right? And they basically won a lawsuit over the 1991 Nevermind album cover. So it's a classic album cover, right?
Yeah, the baby in the water.
Yeah, with the baby in the water. Brent may have to put it up or something.
I was a dead baby. Said,
No, it's a white baby who's naked in the water, right? Basically.
okay.
And kind of but reaching for a $1 note, which is on a hook. Right?
It's
So
a
it's like-
painting.
no, it's an actual real baby. Let me show you.
Like the Mona Lisa. So,
No, a real life baby. It'll make sense when I talk
okay.
about the case.
okay.
So the baby's naked, right? You can see everything.
Yeah.
And basically that's the $1
Okay.
thingy, right? And basically, a US judge has dismissed a man's latest lawsuit against Nirvana over this particular picture. Spencer Eldon, who's 31, said his appearance on the front of this record constituted child sexual abuse. Trigger warning. But the judge said, sorry, yes.
It's fine. We're getting there. You don't work better today, though. So it's fine.
I'm trying. But the judge said he had left it too late to claim that he had been exploited. So Mr. Eldon's legal avenues are now all but exhausted as he cannot refile the case, although his legal team told US media that he would appeal the ruling. So basically, the lawsuit is focused on a photograph of Mr. Eldon, who I just mentioned, being depicted naked, swimming naked in a pool towards a dollar bill pierced with a fishing hook. He argued that he had been unable to consent to the picture being used because he was a little baby. Exactly.
But doesn't that fall on the parents?
Exactly. But he's basically seeking $150,000 in damages, right? The photographer was amongst the defendants, but also former Nirvana members David Grohl and Chris Novoselic, as well as Courtney Love, who's the widow of Kurt Cobain, right? And so he filed this case in 2021, arguing that he was still within his rights to complain about the image because it continued to cause him distress and lost earnings into adulthood, right? The lawsuit was dismissed and then he refiled it in January. Like I just said, he's lost that again. And yeah. But basically, his parents were paid $200 for the photo back in 1991. But obviously at the time, they were like a unknown band. No one really cared about them.
Oh, was this their first album?
Yes.
Oh, this is before they blew up, yeah.
Exactly. So they blew up off of this album.
Yeah.
So unknown band, they must have saw the baby for, it's a cute baby, fits in with the concept. $200. So the parents were happy at the time, innit? Now the son is saying sexual abuse.
He's acting as if people are asking to see his nipples.
He just
based
wants
off the
money.
album cover.
He wants money.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not,
Just say
he
you want money.
he
Yeah,
wants money. He
exactly.
wants money.
Because how could this have affected you in your life?
I think I don't want to be, dismissive,
Yeah.
but I feel like this is made up. He just wants money. That's how I feel.
Do you know what's even more funny about this? Is that the defense argued that he actually enjoyed being the Nirvana baby. Why did they say that? Because he actually reenacted the photograph.
Okay.
later.
Listen,
Exactly. There's
sir,
proof
get
there.
out.
Yeah.
Man said the cost of living is high. What can I possibly make money from? This is what it is.
As Nirvana, on a moral vibe, morality vibe. Okay, cool. We're massive now, innit? We did pay you only $200. You feel like you should just break him off something?
No.
No?
No, because you're making a scene. If you had been quiet and cute about it, maybe we could have brought you out on
Oh
stage
yeah,
one time.
yeah. Now that he's made the scene
But
about
now
it.
you made a scene about
Yeah.
it. Shut up. You're not getting nothing. Furthermore,
Yeah.
anyway, 200 is what they could afford at the time. Just because I'm rich now don't mean you get to get more.
Mm-hmm.
The price is the price.
I hear him a little bit, but his approach is wrong. If I was a baby and I knew my parents only got paid $200 for it, I'd be like, Mum and Dad, man, come on, man. Obviously, it was their first album, so you never knew how big they were, but I would still feel like I'm on one of the most iconic album covers ever, and I have no money for it.
Yeah, that's what my worst fear is. It's
Yeah.
for something about me to be out there making other people money and I'm broke.
Yeah.
That's wild to me. But at the same time,
I think he should have reached out to them on a,
Yeah.
hey
like,
guys.
not like a begging thing,
But can I be an intern?
like on a, guys, it's me, the baby from the cover.
Yeah.
I'm 31 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
I just go.
Can I please have a bit of
This girlfriend, if I found that email, I'm breaking up with you. That's the ick. I just got the ick for a white guy I've never dated. Ew. I'm the baby from the cover. Oh my God.
It's me,
I would
the
die.
baby.
No, that's embarrassing, man. He's acting like honestly, he's acting as if people are walking up to him on the road, like, oh,
Right.
just go away, man.
There you go.
Just say you're broken. And just say you're broken. Leave it at that.
Yes. And the next thing is our Premiership Round-up.
When you say roundup, is it because it's finished?
No, just
No, in the roundup of the weekend.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
right.
All right, cool. Let's get into it. I know there's one thing in particular people want me to talk about, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I'll quickly just round up the results. So West Brom and Burnley drew 1-1. Then Everton, Liverpool, Merseyside derby, 0-0 draw. Brentford battered Leeds 5-2. Chelsea beat West Ham 2-1. Newcastle and Crystal Palace 0-0 draw. Bournemouth beat Nottingham Forest 3-2. Tottenham beat Fulham 2-1. Wolves beat Southampton 1-0. Aston Villa and Man City drew 1-1. Then yesterday, we had another 5-2 battering. This time Brighton beating Leicester. Leicester are in the mud right now. Brighton beat Leicester 5-2. Then the big game of the weekend, the headline game, Man United versus Arsenal. Arsenal going into the game unbeaten so far, top of the league against Man United, who started off the season poor, but have won, I believe, their last 3 games, or 2 games. I think it was 3 games. So they were kind of like on the ascension. Obviously, they signed Anthony and whatnot. And they actually beat Arsenal 3-1. So
So they got 3. Man United got 3.
Yeah. And we got 1. So let's get into that one. So obviously for Arsenal, disappointing loss. I believe that, at the end of the day, it's a results business, isn't it? I can talk about how I believe Arsenal played better than Man United and we didn't deserve to lose, but we lost. You know what I'm trying to say? But we had chances to put the ball in the back of net. Odegaard had a chance that he fluffed. Saliba had a chance that he fluffed. We had a goal disallowed. Martin had a goal disallowed as well, which would have turned the game on its head. It would have been a different outcome. But defensive lapses, defensive mistakes, naivety, and Man United got put through on the counter-attack a couple times. Rashford scored 2. Who scored that goal, Brett? Oh, Anthony.
Yeah.
Anthony scored on his debut. Listen, any loss to Man United is hurtful. Man United are, in my opinion, Arsenal's most bitterest rivals. Forget Tottenham. It is Man United. But it is what it is. It's only one game. We're still top of the league. Man United is still below us. We weren't going to go. We weren't going to go this season undefeated. It's going to happen eventually. And you know what it is about Arsenal? Arsenal can't beat Man United at Old Trafford. It's just a thing. That's our bogey stadium.
What is it?
Like Arsenal, no matter how good Arsenal are playing, and no matter how bad United are playing, when we go and play them at Old Trafford, we lose all the time.
You guys, it's a curse.
It's a curse. So I had little faith, to be fair. I had little faith, but yeah, for whatever reason, like Man United could be having the worst run of their life and we could be having a great run and we'll go there and we lose. So I don't know if it's a mentality thing. I don't know what it is. Arsenal at Old Trafford is just, it's always a fucking shit show. And then also, another big talking point of the weekend is VAR. VAR is, for Esther, VAR is what they use to, how can I say this?
VAR.
VAR.
Video assisted referee.
Yeah, like a video assistant referee. That's what
Is it VAR?
actually means. Yeah.
Why do you call it VAR?
I feel like I just call it whatever comes to mind.
Oh, I know.
Sometimes VAR, sometimes VAR.
I know, yeah. When they go and check what happens.
There's a couple goals that got ruled out because of VAR. So Coutinho's goal against City was ruled out, and that wasn't offside, I believe. Our goal is debatable, the Martinelli goal, because it's whether or not we believe Eriksen was fouled. But I remember there was a few others anyway. But anyway, as a whole,
That's the one with Saka. Or was that
Saka.
And some guy the guy fell, I think, and then kicked him or something like that. Anyway,
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I can't remember that one exactly. But anyway, VAR this weekend, the debate is VAR being used correctly? And we feel like, also on top of VAR, I feel like refereeing is kind of poor as well.
Yeah.
Refereeing is kind of poor. And I'm not saying it because we got a goal disallowed, just in general. Other games that I don't really care about, I saw decisions that I'm like, I don't know. The league is getting corrupt a little bit right now.
I would agree. I don't see why not.
No, I wouldn't be
Just pay them
surprised.
back. Do you know what I mean? They could just pay them.
I wouldn't be surprised. I actually watched a documentary on Netflix they've got a series of documentaries called Untold. And they're about like controversial or like just interesting sports stories. There's a story about an NBA ref who was rigging games. He was giving bookies tips on games. Like, for example, to say a team was going into a match and they had some injuries that weren't made public. He would tell the bookies, oh, you know what? Bet on the Suns because Mavericks got 2 players out or whatever. This is before the public knows about it. And just watching that, I'm like, you know what? It's not far-fetched that there is corruption within the Premier League. Because some of these decisions, I'm like, nah, man, this is rigged. And even with the Arsenal game, the referee is from Manchester, and the VAR ref is also from Manchester too. And it's Old Trafford, it's Ferguson, it's that heritage and that. I don't trust it. But anyway, we lost, but we're still top of the league, so fuck
Okay, that's good.
Fuck yeah, Man United fans.
So
yeah, I think we played well, to be honest.
Yeah, no, we played better, but I can't sit here and be like, we played better. We lost.
the reality is the reality.
Yeah, we lost in it, but I believe we played better. I think Man United will grow into their season, but I didn't watch that game thinking, oh, we're miles behind Man United. I just feel like Arsenal just capitulate against Man United at Old Trafford all the time. It's so jarring. And the annoying thing is, if that goal wasn't disallowed, it would have been a different game. If Saliba and Odegaard took their chances in front of goal, it would have been a different game. And Arsenal just need to take their chances. Like, be more cold-blooded, be more clinical in front of goal, and put these games to bed. Like, we could have won that game easily, and right now we would be undefeated, top of the league. You know what I mean?
So what number are you guys on the scoreboard?
First.
Man.
Sick.
The first.
Who's second? Like, and
Man City.
Is it?
Man City. I've got it.
Man City is different to Man United, right?
Yeah. So right, you go.
But what? So how can you guys become? What's the way you guys can go lower? Is it that if you lose another game?
If we start losing, start drawing, and obviously other teams
start winning
and whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Special needs, sorry.
Okay.
No, it's all right. That, Brandon. We did not need to know. That's private information. We did not need to know.
No, I just wanted you all to understand.
Okay. The most alarming thing about the Premier League table is that Leicester City are bottom, rock bottom.
Is that shocking?
1 point.
Yeah, but I'm not a football fan, and I know Leicester be struggling.
No. Leicester are at worst, a top 10 team.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's the worst football team? Like they're always at the bottom of the
It depends, because remember, the worst team, they get relegated.
What does that mean?
Spurs is the worst football team.
Yeah. Yes, obviously Spurs is the worst football team in the world, but the worst team gets relegated to the league. Is it League One? Yeah.
What does relegated mean? As in they're not allowed to play with the big boys anymore?
Nope, exactly.
That's so funny.
Exactly. And if they get promoted again, next season they can come back up and play with the big boys.
You gotta work. You gotta earn your space here.
There you go. So yeah, that's the roundup. Hopefully I'm back here next week with better news about Arsenal. But yeah, man. Fuck Man United.
Yeah. Let's see how they continue to play across the season. Like United.
Yeah, also I hate about yesterday as well, seeing the players try to protest the foul on Ericsson, Fernandez and them. Like,
Yeah,
shut up, man, you pussy old bro. I was a footballer, bro. I'll get sent off for slapping people.
Slapping people. That's
Yeah.
incredible. Yeah. All right. Let's get into our outro. All right. Just another question. Said, did you guys ever watch the BBC documentary about the creation of the Premier League? Any of you watched that?
Nope. No.
Okay. No.
It was interesting enough.
I said no.
Well, good start to the week. Hopefully this week gets nicer to each and every one of us in this room and the people watching. I hope we could have a good September. Well, we appreciate you guys for always tuning in. Thank you so much. Thank you for the love as well. You showed the 5 times more ladies. Appreciate that. Hoping to have another guest for you guys this week. Don't want to spoil it just because you know how people be. I don't want you guys to think I'm a liar again. That line is slowly leaving my name. But yeah, do follow us on all our social media platforms. Like, comment, share the day after TNB. You guys know to join the community. Like this video, subscribe to our channel. Are we nearly at 3K?
Nope, not enough.
No, not enough. And you guys are just thieves, man. As Koi would say, you're actually stealing. But yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, let them know we're lit. Let them know to join us every morning. If you'd like to send voice notes and text in for Sis, what would you do? Asking for a friend or just a general chit chat. Also the number you can call when we're live It's 075 6484 1073. Again, join the community, the TNB network, community.thenewblack.com, and also join the TDA Backstage Access. You get a month free membership. And if you'd like to inquire about the show, feature on the show, email the team the day after at thenewblack.com. That's all from us today. We will see you tomorrow.